We looking, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So we see, first of all, top of the day to everybody. I hope everybody's well rested, having a good day. I hope you guys are safe. Hope everybody's, piece of fruit, vegetable, wake up, drink your water, start your day, and get to it. So, as you can see, right, once again, massive deflections, massive distractions, right? Here we are, got a war going on, allegedly, right? War going on. Places are being bombed. People are losing their lives, being unalive, things of that nature. And American citizens are pretty much at odds with one another, with the government. It's crazy. As much as people say, "Oh, I just want to get up out of here and leave here. I can't stand this country," and it's like, yeah, you could leave. I'm a black man, so you could imagine how I feel about this country, knowing that everything black people have been through. But one thing I can honestly say is, you may not get the freedom that you want everywhere else when you do travel. And that's one of the benefits that we have here as Americans, which is why, if you ever pay attention, a lot of people love coming here because of the level of freedom. There's a lot of people who don't mind being under a dictator, totalitarian authority, fascist regime. But a lot of those people that don't mind it are either stuck in the position that they're in and they can't see a way out, or they're fine with the life that they're living, they're comfortable, and they don't really have a need to say, you know what, I think we should leave this place or this country. Like, for instance, right, you go to in China, right? Right now in China, the GDP is so crazy in China right now, right, that in China, a lot of people don't know, so many billionaires have fled China, because in China, you can own the house. You want to buy a house in China? You could buy a house in China. You can't own the land. So look at that right there. What American, every American that actually had the opportunity to buy a home, right, and become a homeowner in America, what American wants to go somewhere where they can buy a house but not own the property? The government owns the property. Right? That's just one. That's just one, right? What's so crazy is we are going back and forth in this country, right? You see Druski versus Kirk. He puts on the white face, white people get upset. Robert Downey Jr. did blackface in Tropic Thunder. Black people weren't outraged. Shout out to Janice Austin, 8851. Hi, Janice. How you doing? Hi, Janice. Hi, Janice. How you doing, Janice? Yeah. So Robert Downey Jr. did, hey, what's up, Raina Ann? Robert Downey Jr. did blackface in Tropic Thunder. We didn't get upset. We weren't upset at that. Do you understand? So that's happening right now. Candace Owens is against the government and Israel. She's literally trying to expose the government which she is living under. We're living in this country, and Candace Owens is trying to expose them for the things that she says is foul play. Mind you, Charlie Kirk spoke about the things that were wrong. Charlie Kirk was a heavy, extreme right wing. A lot of people feel like it was the right wing that did this to Charlie because they felt Charlie was going to go too far on the edge. It's almost like the same thing that they did with Malcolm X. And Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, you remember his last speech, Martin said, I feel like I've led my people into a burning house, into a burning building. Like, I failed my people. You know why Martin Luther King said that? Because Martin Luther King was taking the same white people's money that was putting us at a disadvantage. And I'm not saying this, color is color. It is what it is. I was raised colorblind. You know what I mean? I love all people. You know what I mean? Respect me, I'll respect you. I don't care what position you play, judge, cop, whoever you are. It doesn't matter. None of that matters to me because you're not the all-seeing creator. You're not God. So it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? So I'm going to respect you regardless. But in this country, what I'm noticing is that even with the transparency that we have now, the Jeffrey Epstein files, right? They're talking about the things that were going on this island. They're talking about different documents that were hidden in these Epstein files, right? We're talking about a massive historical cover-up. Do you understand? This is how messed up America is, right? This is how naive a lot of people are in America, right? Slavery was one of the original forms of human trafficking. But most people don't want to admit that. They don't want to admit that. Slavery is the original form of human trafficking. Now, people are going to dispute, whether we were brought here on boats, whether we were already here. You know what I mean? So people are going to dispute that all day. They're going to dispute that all day. Just like a lot of people would dispute, how is it that the people from Israel left there dark-skinned and came back white? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Nobody can tell me. Nobody can say to me, hey, you know what? I never thought about that. Let me put a poll up. I'm putting a poll up, guys. Putting the poll up, guys. Put a poll up. I want to ask you guys' opinion. That's all. I want to ask everybody's opinion, how y'all feel. You know what I mean? Because the country really has everybody fooled. Like, the government really has us fooled, and I need you guys to see it. Another thing, I had a good conversation with a friend of mine recently, right? Good conversation with a friend of mine. Shout out to Fiji. Shout out to Fiji. Great water, right? The celiac that we lose from smoking, the Fiji helps regenerate, okay? The celiac on your tongue and everything from when you smoke, whether you smoke cigarettes, you smoke weed, cigars, whatever you do, right? The celiac that you lose, right? You drink this type of water, artesian water, you drink alkaline water, this stuff will help rebalance you. You understand? This is how I start my days. Whoop, there it is. This is how I start my days. Shout out to Jeff Ross, P6B. Shout out to Jeff Ross, P6B, all right? So now, right? Notice this, right? Notice the trickery that they use with us, right? There's 19 million people in New York, right? The state of New York. It's 19 million people in the state of New York. Guess how many police officers there are covering the entire state of New York? There's only 60,000 police officers covering the entire state of New York, but there's 19 million civilians in New York. Insane. Go to California, Mr. Newsom, right? You got 33, you have 40 million people in California, 39 to be exact, but 40 million people in California. 40 million people in California. Guess how many police officers it is for the entire state of California? 40 million people is only 150,000 police officers. Now, you tell me that number is not crazy. Tell me that number is not crazy. 40 million. 40 million population in California. There's only 150,000 officers. So let's say 10 times 150,000 is 1.5. 100 times 150,000 is 15. 200 times 150,000 is 30. That means that we could literally have, there's only, right? Check this out. If there's 40 million people in California and 150,000 officers, right? We could just do simple math, right? That means that there's literally about, for every 200 to 250 citizens in California, there's only one officer to protect them. Imagine living in a state, right? And mind you, California is not even, and population-wise, California is one of the top 3. Texas is the second biggest state land-wise, right? Texas is the second biggest state land-wise. Texas has about 33 million citizens in Texas, right? 33 million citizens in Texas. But now in Texas, there's only 120 to 130,000 officers for the entire state. That's insane. That's insane. It takes you, right? Oh, Mr. Caprello. Oh my God, STFU. It's crazy because people will talk crazy on the comments, which I usually ignore them. People will talk crazy on the comments, but if I seen people like this in real life, they would never talk about this. And I don't have nothing to cry about. I'm not crying because I'm not like the average citizen. I'm the one who, I did a bid. I've been up north. I've been to prison. I done did that already. So I did the parole, not complaining. I know if I see Mr. Caprello, I would definitely pop, pop, all in his face. That's what Mr. Caprello would get. But anyway, like I was saying. So yeah, bottom line is, when you guys look at these things, right, don't be fooled by war. They're saying there's a war, right? In Iran, there's 90 million plus people in Iran, right? 90 plus million people in Iran. We only have 1.5 million active duty members in the United States. Remember these numbers, right? 330 million population in the United States. 1.5 million active duty in the United States. No, your mother makes me tough, Caprello. That's who makes me tough when she swallows. That's who makes me tough. Your mother makes me tough when she swallows. You know what I mean? Right. So 1.5 million active duty members in the United States. It's 330 million people in the United States. How can 1.5 million people protect us? I know, the same way I walk through your mother. That's why I don't go on people's pages talking crazy like this, because I know in life, real situations happen every day. I'm outside every day. You are bored and you're on here. Don't worry, I'll come out there. I'll be out in New Orleans soon. I'll be out in Shreveport, actually. You can pull up to Shreveport. Come to the airport at the end of April. I can tell you exactly where you can meet me at. We can right around the corner from the airport real quick. I'm all for hand-to-hand combat. I don't like football. I don't like basketball. It reminds me of slavery. I love boxing because I know that boxing was something that white men created when they knew that they had slaves who had power and strength that was out of this world, like most white men know, right? I'm pretty sure you are, because you soft. That's what white boys, Spanish, that's what you do. What you white, Caprello? You a white boy? You know what I mean? I know you bored. You got to be bored. Because one thing I'm going to tell y'all people, right? When you making money and you got something to do, when you making money and you got something to do, oh, no. 1 Corinthians 15. No, prison doesn't make you tough at all. Prison doesn't make you tough at all. It's just that the fact that he said that I'm complaining, and I said, why would I be complaining? And he continued to go on and try to antagonize me, and I had to remind him that I'm not the average dude. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be tough. I don't really want to bother anybody. I'm sitting here just giving information to everybody. I'm letting everybody know what's going on in the world right now. I put a poll up. I'm asking people's opinions, how they feel about what Druski did. I want people to just, just give me your honest opinion. Tell me how he feels. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. I don't want to be tough. I got 3 kids, man. You think I want to sit here and be tough? But I'm not about to sit here and be no sucker and let somebody just talk any type of way to me. That's not how that goes. That's not how that goes. I would never go on anybody's. I would never go on Shay. Shout out to John Maltese. I'll never go on anybody's live stream. I'll never go on none of that. Yeah, I know. You just like your ancestors. And that's exactly why when the rapture comes, God gonna take you to the devil. You going down with the devil. Yeah, I know your mother. I know. I must be a deadbeat because obviously I left you with your mother. I must be a deadbeat because I left you with your mother. I told her to swallow, and she told me don't pull out. Right, yeah. Thank you, Robin. He a keyboard gangster. He a keyboard gangster. I appreciate it, though, because what's going to happen is YouTube is paying attention to this. YouTube is seeing the comments that you putting up, and they're already on you because that's how the algorithm is set up. Y'all playing around. Y'all playing around, and yeah. No problem, Corinthian. Any questions? Shout out to Jeff Ross. Shout out to Axel Foley. Any questions that y'all gotta ask me, y'all can ask me. I'm transparent. I have nothing to hide. Everything, right, that's going on in this world right now. Anthony Monroe, he said YouTube is not. Yo, Anthony, if I could only show you, matter of fact, where's my other phone? Because I keep my other phone on me, right? I'm gonna show you something, you guys, right? I'm gonna show you something real quick. Take a picture of this and show it to you. He said YouTube is not watching. I don't really like just talking to talk, but I'm gonna show you something, right? Hold on 1 second. Where is it at? Here we go, right there. That's one picture, and here is the other picture. Boom, right? So look, I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. He said YouTube is not paying attention, right? What does that say? This message is being held for review, right? This message is being held for review, right? And now he's saying dry lips, right? So I'm gonna get back to the whole Druski thing, right? But let's finish Caprello off. He's saying dry lips. That's how you know Caprello is bored. He's probably one of them young boys, never had nothing in life, probably was bullied when he was a kid, super soft. He probably could be mixed. He probably could be a mutt. His mother's probably a white woman who loves black men. So now Caprello feels like, oh, I'm gonna come up here, I'm bored, let me come bother him. That's how you know Caprello don't got nothing going on in his life right now. You know he don't. But back to Druski. So now, once again, how is it that we are going to go to war with an entire country? 1.5 million active duty members that we have in the United States. But they're sitting here telling us that they're going to go to war with Iran. Iran has 90 million people in it, right? Another thing I want y'all to pay attention to. How is it that, right? They keep showing us, like they show us one picture here of this soldier, one picture here of this soldier, right? Oh, this girl died. Condolences to her family. This person died. Condolences to their family. And it's like, okay, in a real war, right? In a real war, and bullets is flying, missiles is being launched, bombs is being dropped, it's no way. If we are all standing here within a certain radius, right? We're all standing here within a certain radius, and we are reconning. We sending fire. Hold. Right? You doing recon, right? It's no way if they drop a bomb and there's 20 of us here, only one of us is gonna get hurt. You trying to tell? And look where, depending on where you located at, You dropped that bomb. How? How is it possible? How is it possible for 1.5 million active duty members in the military? 1.5 million. I was in when there was 5-line companies in the battalion and reduced it down to 3-line companies in the battalion. Shout out to Rob and Wyckoff. Okay, Rob. 1 Corinthians, I feel your opinions are based on your emotion. Okay, 1 Corinthians. Ask me. I want to ask a question, Corinthians. What exactly do you feel is based on emotion? As far as, have you ever served? Absolutely. 25 Quebec, communications. 25 Quebec, communications. Yeah. Fort Jackson, South Carolina, home of the Red Clay. Yeah, 25 Quebec. 85 on my ASVAB test. Absolutely. And then I went to Fort Gordon, the home of communications. That base in Fort Gordon they don't even call it Fort Gordon anymore, but Fort Gordon, what was this, 2007, 2008? Fort Gordon, 11M Bradley, 11. Listen, I love you 11s, man. Especially Bravo. They say that in the army, the child was body fine. Who said that? Chick jumped off the table and started marching time. Oh, Lord, I want to go, but they won't let me go. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, left, right, your left, right, your... Yo, man, I ain't gonna front. I used to miss them kids. Hey, Captain Jack. Hey, Captain Jack. Beat me down by the railroad track. Beat me down by the railroad track. With that rifle in my hand. I'm gonna be a shooting man, a drinking man, the best I am. That was my shit. What was that? My buddy's in the foxhole. My buddy's in the foxhole. The enemy say he's wounded. The enemy said he's wounded. But I know that he's dead. Airborne. Shoot that son of a, bang, 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 bang. Yo, listen. Y'all got me. Please, y'all don't get me excited. Please don't get me hyped. Listen, I don't give a damn how old I get, right? I don't care how old I get. Why didn't you become a lifer? You know what it is, man? Oh, man, that's such a good question, man. As much as I loved the military, as much as I loved it, as much as if I die on the old drop zone, box me up and ship me home. Right, Robert Wyckoff, yeah. Listen, the reason why I didn't stay is because something in me, as much as I loved it, I miss all my battle buddies. Wholesome back, shout out to Coleman, PFC Sherman. Oh man, shout out to Specialist Divine. Shout out to everybody, man. Drill Sergeant Rolls, Drill Sergeant Kachevsky. Man, one of the illest drill sergeants that I had. Drill Sergeant Kachevsky. Frank Kachevsky. This man was a German. When I tell you, he was rough. Kachevsky was rough. I loved him. He used to come in there and he had the old BDUs on, not the new ones. Not the new ones they gave out to everybody they issued after 9/11. He had the old joints. The dark green, brown, and black. Oh my God, yo. This dude was, he would drink. He would drink so much, bro. Coming to work and that early morning wake up, we leave the barracks and come out front, get in formation, and rain, sleet, hail, or snow. It don't matter what was the condition of the weather. This man was always on 1,000. Always on 1,000. I loved it. I loved it, man. But I'm such an, I'm the person that I'll take the penalty for the team. I'll go first. I remember when we used to do our company runs in basic, and we would run with the company commander, Charlie Company 447. It's about it was like, I want to say like 200 plus people at Charlie Company 447. When we used to do our runs, I remember like my first week in basic, I got so comfortable with the running, and it's lines. You got the Alpha Squad, Bravo Squad, Charlie Squad, right? Me and my friend, Ernest Lee Hardy, shout out to Ernest Lee Hardy. He came with me. We flew out to basic together from Albany, right? Ernest Lee Hardy, fast as hell, right? He was my partner when we got off the bus. I noticed that in basic, right? I'm jumping in and out of lines, you running formations, right? So now some of the drill sergeants say, hey, make sure y'all stay in line and keep pace. Now me and my friend, we jumping, we running, we'll gut out of line, we run up 5-6 soldiers, jump back in line, jump to the left side, run up another 5 to 10 soldiers and jump back in. We was having fun with it. We was having fun with it. Now, and it's crazy, I had dental care. Oh wow, Robin, you old Army. Yeah, okay. I respect it. Salute. I respect it. It was Fort Gordon. Fort Gordon had Snyder, I think it's Snyder Dental Clinic or Eisenhower Dental on Fort Gordon. But man, listen, I love the military, don't get me wrong. I loved it, but I seen a lot of crazy things in the military that I didn't even realize I was witnessing, because you be so oblivious to things on the outside, and you come in and you join something that is something considerably the country's biggest, force. Even though, like I said, it's 330 million people in the country, it's 330 million people in this country. Like I said, 1.5 million active duty. And if you add up all the local law enforcement, FBI, it's probably only about 3 to 4 million. 5 might be pushing it. There's only 4 to 5 million people on our country soil protecting all of us. That's not a lot of people. That's not. There's 3 million people. You could find 2.5, 3 million people in Queens alone. Queens and Brooklyn. Brooklyn and Queens are the 2 biggest boroughs. When the Native Americans settled in New York, they went to Queens because Queens is flat. It's flat land. So history shows you that that's where they settled at. And yeah, it's like, wow, like you can literally fit the entire military and police force that is protecting our whole country. You can fit them in New York City. Navy. I love Navy. I honestly, man, I probably would have did that. If I would have did Navy, I probably would have stayed. Or Marine. I think if I would have went Marine, I probably would have stayed. I probably would have been a beast because I love the way they move. I actually trained with Marines on Gordon. They had a Marine office open up not too long after I was on Gordon. Like I said, that was 2007, 2008, last time I was in Gordon. So, damn, almost 20 years ago. Wow. Yeah, man. But, yeah. And let's switch topics. Who cares about Druski, right? Who cares about Druski? Let me see. Fort Eisenhower. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me see. Let's go back. Okay, let me put this on here for you guys, because there's a thing. I could put this up here for you guys, right? Boom, right? You see this, right? So we see this right here, right? You see, look, Clay Travis, Erica Kirk's husband, was assassinated in September. It's March. And black comedian is putting on white face and mocking her, right? And mocking her in a video. Honest question. If a prominent black leader had been assassinated and white comedian put on a black face and mocked his widow, what would happen? How many times have we already seen that? How many times have we already seen, right? Yeah, I ain't gonna front, the grants for housing is dope. And that was a cool thing too. The housing grant was cool. Um, but I mean, as a member, after you serve, it's like you don't really have a care for anything in life. Like, you have family, you have kids and everything like that, but it's just like you have it's the small things that really matter. You know what I mean? A Marine, a true military man, woman, a SEAL. We don't really, coffee. You wake up, you want your black coffee with a cube of sugar or brown sugar. You want, some people want to go to the store and get their pack of cigarettes. Some people wake up and drink, I like to smoke weed. I'm thinking of 20 years ago, weed was something that you couldn't even partake in. They used to tell the soldiers, sativa. That's what they used to tell the soldiers. That's what they used to tell the soldiers. They used to tell the soldiers, go smoke sativa. Go smoke sativa, right? That's what they told us in T school. Go smoke sativa, right? Go smoke sativa because you can't smoke weed. It can't be in your system. But sativa is something that the Spanish, Mexicans out west in Texas and Cali, that's something that they said they used to talk to the spirits. Crazy. Okay, let's move on, guys. Let me give y'all some more content. So they mad at this. They're pissed. They're pissed. They're like, how dare they play around? Aki, the sativa, 1 Corinthians said, I'm amazed at how you embrace your insanity. Keep pushing. I appreciate you, Corinthians. You have to embrace the insanity, because when you realize that there's only a few people who do embrace it, you start understanding that a lot of people are sheeps, goats. They're sheeps. A lot of people are sheeps. Now look at this, 12 votes. I don't know how many people have viewed this live. I don't care, but I don't talk for the sake of money. I don't talk for the sake of hundreds of thousands of people listening to me. It doesn't matter. As long as I speak to a few people every day, which I need to do more because it's been a while since I've been consistent with it. But as long as I speak to a few people a day, and a few people can take what I'm saying and maybe carry that conversation on and have that conversation with a few more people, then it doesn't matter. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Come on, let me keep hitting y'all with content. What else? Huh? You see this, right? You see this, right? See that, right? You see look at this. Look at this, right? Compared to Druski, right? Look, nobody said nothing when Robert Downey Jr. did it. So is Robert Downey Jr. wrong too? Is Robert Downey Jr. wrong? Is he? Is Robert Downey Jr. wrong for what he did? Somebody explain to me, please. Because if comedy is comedy, look at Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake did blackface on Saturday Night Live. We still continue to listen to his music and listen to that white boy harmonizing, crew, all that. He did blackface. So this is why I say people like to pick and choose. Can't be picky and choosy, right? What I'm so shocked at is how white people in bulk have been responding to these Epstein files. Why are white people not more outraged? Is it because they've heard these conversations when they were in the room and their parents didn't think they heard the conversations? Is it because they were sitting at the table when they heard grandma tell them stories about how they used to sneak into the shed when the slave master was sleeping? So grandma used to go sneak into the shed and try to get something from the slave? If y'all never even thought about that, go and watch Mandingo. Go watch the movie Mandingo with Ken Norton. Watch that movie Mandingo with Ken Norton and watch how the white slave master's wife, right, threatened the slave and told him, if you don't give me some of that, I'm going to tell my husband you tried to do something to me. This is stuff that they showed us in movies. but people don't like it. People don't like reality. So now we get shot, we get hung, we get unalived, we get hosed down, dogs attack us, and we supposed to just sit here and just we held it down. What do black people do? Black people laugh. We like to laugh. We like to have fun. We like to eat. You know what I mean? Because why? If we go crazy and go on a rampage like our ancestor and our fellow brother, what is his name again? Mr. Nat Turner, led a rebellion. If we was to turn up in this country like Nat Turner right now, I'm talking about if we was to tell all the men or all the women and kids stay in the house, and every 17, 18-year-old and up was to come outside. I'm talking about black Marines, black Navy SEALs, black Delta Force. Huh? Let's talk about them. You understand? Y'all keep forgetting that when we were going through that whole George Floyd thing, y'all forgot that those black revolutionary members and that militia was walking through the street state to state. Wasn't no local law enforcement stopping them. Nobody. No local law enforcement was stopping them. No government agency pulled up. No ICE, no none of that pulled up. None of that. So what's up? And that's what I'm saying. That's what the government is afraid of. Because you have to remember, it was the Buffalo Soldiers that saved this country and America from some of the craziest wars that we had on our soil. You talking about wars that we got, the wars over there. Forget about that. That's like a movie. That's like a movie. And I'm sorry, you know what I mean, but not sorry for saying it, because when you have the media telling us, yo, yeah, Israeli news doesn't want us to report this. What does Israeli news have to do with the United States news? How does their say so apply to what goes on over here with our media? Why do they get to dictate what we get to put out when we allegedly run the media, but we really don't? If you go and look in the fine print of Disney, you realize Disney is owned by the royal family, right? Disney owned, it says in Disney's fine print, property of royal family, right? Look at Jamaica, British Republic, right? This is owned by the United Kingdom, right? Go back to imperialism. Who had the biggest hand in imperialism? The United Kingdom. If you look to see who owns ABC, it's going to say Disney owns ABC. My best friend of mine that I grew up with, I haven't seen her in a while, good friend, Brianna Stewart. She worked for ABC. When she got the package in the mail, I saw on the package, welcome to the Disney family. I said, what? Why does it say welcome to the Disney family? I thought you was working for a news company. She said, yeah, no, Disney owns the news company. I said, wow. Wow. Disney owns ABC? And then when I did further research, I realized Disney also bought 98.7 KISS FM in New York, which was a tri-state station. It used to be 98.7 KISS. They bought that so that they can use that for ESPN. Let's keep going, man, because we could do this all day. We could do this all day. We could do this all day. Look at that. Look at the poll. Is Druski wrong? 64% say no. 29% say yes. 7% say it's humor. So the 7% that say it's humor go with the 64% that say no. So it's really 71%. You see what I'm saying? People don't be giving it. Man, people know what it is, man, what it's hitting for. Life is life, man. When it gets real, it's going to get real. And when that happens, then we'll be ready for that. Shout out to Kanye West. Kanye got the new video if y'all ain't seen it. Shout out to Kanye. A lot of symbolism in this video. A lot of symbolism in this video. Shout out to Kanye. This is big right here. See MJ sitting in the back, right? This is one thing I don't agree with, right? Look at this right here, right? I don't agree with this. You're in a relationship with a woman. Y'all have kids together. Things don't work out. Y'all got to move on. Male, female, whoever's fault it is, it don't matter. It ain't working. It is what it is. We could be cordial. We could be friends. We can co-parent. We could be adults about this. But one thing that I will never do, I'm not going to go to court knowing that the woman has my kids and take her for child support, alimony. What is going on? Like, what's up with men? The men are not men anymore. And this is why I'm saying, man, it's a lot of soft people. Corinthians, you could go. And that's the problem right there. That's why the government diagnosed people with ADHD, because they say they can't focus. And that's the thing about a simple-minded man or a simple-minded woman. They can't go from topic to topic. They lose focus fast. But it's all right, because how I talk is not for everybody. And I understand that. It's billions of people in the world. So if one person tells me, hey, I got to go because I don't understand you're going around and jumping around topic to topic, that's perfectly fine. That's fine. You can go. You can absolutely go. It's cool. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not for everybody, and everybody's not for you. Once people understand that, they'll be okay with a lot of things that go on in the world. Everything is not for everybody, and everybody is not for you. That's just how it goes. It is what it is. And I'm fine with that, like I said. So, it's cool. Yeah, so let's keep this going. Yeah, I would never do that, though. Any man out there that's going to do something with a woman, if you know the woman got the kids, don't be a sucker and try to get her for alimony, take her for money during divorce. Let that woman have her money. Let her take care of them kids. Y'all got to stop, man. So scientists have discovered under Antarctica a whole new world. They saying they discovered under Antarctica. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I could sit here and talk about Druski. I could talk about the military, United States, Iran, Israel, but it's too much going on in the world. That's why you could tell people don't have a good focus, because the news will have them so stuck on just one topic while there's so many other things going on. And you still got to balance yourself, because in reality, you got your own life to deal with. Not everybody has a balance like that. It's cool. I'm a Libra. If you look at how the Egyptians created astrology, I balance out the sun god. I'm air. I'm the air element. You understand? Air balances everything out. It doesn't air. Everything needs air. Everything needs oxygen. All life forms. So, yeah, I don't really. Everything is not for everybody. You know what I mean? I'm different. Look at this whale, y'all. Look at this whale. Look at this whale right here that washed up on a New York beach. Oh, look at that. What? A New York beach that washed up? Wow. I was just talking to somebody about the Bermuda Triangle. And then I was talking to them about the Mariana Trench, right? This is what I find so crazy, right? How is it that James Cameron, the creator, alleged creator of the Terminator, which we're now finding out he stole that from Sophia Stewart. The Terminator storyline is stolen from a black woman named Sophia Stewart, because John Connor in the beginning turns into Neo later in the future in The Matrix. And The Matrix is also stolen from Sophia Stewart. But that's something we can get into later. Y'all could ask me about that anytime. But I was just talking about the Mariana Trench, right? James Cameron went down in the Mariana Trench. He did a self-voyage down on the Mariana Trench. And I noticed that he did that almost 10 years before this crew went down to the Mariana Trench and these people died. Unfortunately, James Cameron took that dive already. So why look at this luxury condo, y'all. Luxury condo in New York City. People don't even want to live there. They said the place is damn near empty. They said the luxury condo is damn near empty. People can't afford it. People can't afford it. This is why the little things in life matter. They don't, all the extravagant stuff they show us, none of that matters. I know people who are millionaires who walk around and shop at Marshalls. They wear $10 shirts, $5 shirts. You understand? They fooled us since we was young. They tricked us bad. They tricked us bad, man. Bad. I'm a very intelligent person. I'm just stating my opinion. No need to insult me. Oh no, Corinthians, if you felt that was an insult, then that means that you took it personal. I wasn't insulting you, Corinthians. And pardon me for just now seeing your comment because I'm talking, so. But yeah, I'm not insulting you, Corinthians. Trust me, I'm a very straightforward person, very direct, very blunt. If I really had something to say to you, I would just say it. But what I was saying basically is that I'm not for everybody. So it's fine. You came in and you actually supported me. So I can tell you, thank you, 1 Corinthians 15, for coming to my YouTube page on my live and even clicking and supporting. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for interacting and commenting. I do appreciate that. But like I said, everything isn't for everybody and everybody's not for you. That's just how life is. And I'm fine with that. I'm all right with that. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying it's okay. If you can't, let me not say can't, because when you say can't, that makes a person feel like you're saying that they can't do something. Okay, let me say this, right? Because words are powerful. If you don't like the pace of my dialogue and how I can jump from topic to topic, I understand. Let me say that. And 1 Corinthians, to answer your question before I shout out to Aki, right? It does cost too much to live in New York, Aki. He said, how many chromosomes did Jesus have, right? So I will tell you something, right? Nobody can tell you exactly how many chromosomes Jesus had. Nobody can tell you that. There's so many things in this world that is undiscovered. Do you understand that? We do know that the European white Caucasoid DNA, Neanderthal DNA, goes back a few thousand years. We do know that white scientists have told us today, and we can go find this right now, it's in plenty of different publications, white scientists have told us that civilization started in Africa, and it goes back 150,000 plus years, right? That's where they're saying the civilization started, which makes a lot of people question dinosaurs, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. They say civilization started in Africa. You asking me about the chromosomes of Jesus. Why isn't anybody asking, why is Hillary Clinton looking for the tomb of Gilgamesh? Why are we not talking about that? And Gilgamesh believed in infinite lifeline, right? Gilgamesh believed in living a long time. If Jesus was born from a virgin, how many chromosomes would he have? Bro, you know what? 1 Corinthians, how about this? Let's be transparent, right? I'm going to do this for you in front of all the viewers because I don't care, right? Transparency is the closest thing to God because it's honesty, straightforward, right? How about you tell me, 1 Corinthians, how about I ask you the question? If Jesus was born from a virgin, 1 Corinthians 15, how many chromosomes would he have? How many chromosomes does Jesus have, 1 Corinthians? And then 1 Corinthians, I also want you to enlighten us. Can you also tell us about the book of Enoch? Can you tell us about the fallen angels? Can you tell us about Enki and Lil? Can you do that, 1 Corinthians? Can you tell us about Enki and Lil? Can you tell us about these things? Right. Moving on. Okay, look at this dude, y'all. Look at this dude, y'all. This dude right here, right? This dude right? Predator. This young girl, right? He murdered this young girl, right? He unalives her. He doesn't even make it to court. He don't even make it to court, y'all. Yes. Do you believe it was suicide? Nah. This wasn't suicide. This wasn't suicide. They took him out. They finished him. And I'm not even mad. Listen, I got 3 kids, right? I got 3 kids. And that's another thing too, Aki. A lot of articles is finicky. Right. See, a lot of articles saying he took a plea deal. Some of them are saying that he took the plea deal but didn't go to court to get sentenced for the plea deal. So a lot of articles is finicky. But one thing I will say, I have 3 kids. You understand? I'm a godfather of several kids. Several. I have one daughter. I love my mother. She's still alive. I honor my goddaughters very much so. I cherish the bond that I have with them, and I protect them. You know what I mean? I stand on that, protecting women. And I believe that once he got inside, people realized what he did, who he was. They pretty much saw it on the news probably before he even got there, and they finished him off. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Yeah, that's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like I don't play when it comes to that. I don't play when it comes to women, when it comes to kids. I do not play. Like I don't. You know, one thing my father taught me, my father and mother they may not have always agreed, but even in the midst of him being in disagreement with my mother, he was still telling me to respect my mom. You have to protect her. You have to do that. So yeah, man. So I don't play, man. I do not play. I do not play. I remember when I was in T school. I'm in Fort Gordon. You know, weekends we go out. During the day we was going out, and I remember we were at the hotel, and this dude is next door beating this chick with a belt. She got a baby walking around with diapers in there, and another kid in there that's probably 2-3 years old. Me and my homeboy whooped him out. We had to whoop him out. We had to break him up and get him out of there. And it's sad because I see the baby as we whooping him out. I see the baby at the door, and the girl is saying, "Don't go." She's saying to him, "Don't go." And I'm looking like I'm so conflicted, not at what I did, because at what I did, I was raised to protect. So I'm conflicted at the fact that we just saved this woman from a physical attack, and she's telling the dude, "Don't leave." Oh man, that crushed me, man. Oh my God, it crushes me, man. Oh my God, man. It hurt me, man. It hurts me, man. Knowing that men will do these type of things to women in front of the kids. And man, it's like a disease, man. It's like, why would you do that, man? Like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. And you know what it is too, man? I always tell women. I got to put another poll up, man. I got to do another poll, man. I got to, man, because, yo, man, I got to do another poll, man. I got to do another poll, man. I got to do another poll, man. I got to do another one, man. Here's my poll for the ladies, man. Here's my poll for the ladies and the men, if y'all agree. If y'all agree with me, man. Like, seriously. Do y'all agree with me? I always tell women, always. If a man has mother issues, stay away from him. Like, stay away. Stay away. If he Pay attention to them. Because I got 2 sisters too. I tell my sister, and I got 2 sisters, one Dominican, the other one and Panamanian, the other one like Ecuadorian Panamanian. My sisters are beautiful, right? Tell my sister, listen, pay attention to a man. Take your time. Have fun dating. Have fun doing things outside the house, right? Have fun doing things outside the house, right? I told my sister, take your time. Go to Dave & Buster's. Go out to eat. Go grab something to drink. Go to a movie night. Do these things. Have fun. Chill in the car and talk after a while. Don't rush to go inside and get in each other's skin, right? Pay attention to how he operates. How he feeds himself every day. Is he feeding himself every day? Is he worrying about what he's putting in his body, right? And more importantly, look at the relationship he has with his mother, right? Does he have a mother? Did he lose his mother? How did losing his mother affect him? Because a lot of men who do these heinous things to women don't have a mother. They may have grown up in the system. So now they're only looking at the antecedent, which is the beginning of something. They're only looking at the antecedent, which was shown to them of how a man is supposed to deal with a woman. It could have been a man who attacked a woman. It could have been a man who yelled and cursed at women. It could have been a pimp. Whatever it is, I always tell women, pay attention to that relationship that man has with his mother. Because if he has a mother like Norman Bates, who coddles him, oh no, it's okay, sweetie. Everything's okay. She never want to let him know when he's wrong. He's always right. Don't worry, mommy will take care. She coddling him, right? Stay away from that. Because she is raising a serial killer. And that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. If she coddling him and letting him think that everything in life is okay, even when he makes some of the most craziest mistakes, stay away from him. Stay away. And I got 6 votes in here, right? One person said no. Stay away from men with mommy issues. And that one person is probably a man with mommy issues. Happened to me like, damn. Bird Money King happened to me like that. Almost killed the guy my aunt was with. Wow, man. Damn, Bird. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, that's whack, man. It's whack. I hate that type of stuff, man. Trust me, I do, man. I hate that type of stuff, man. It's definitely corny. Okay. Hey, look at this, man. Pushing for a bond release. O'Malley. Not O'Malley, pardon me. YNW Melly. He pushing for a bond release. He said a bond release based upon the fact that the conditions and everything that's going on in the jail. They're not gonna let him out. They making too much money. They making too much money off of him. That's another thing I gotta explain to y'all, man. These are contracts. These are contracts. Everything is a contract. Everything is a contract. Your parking ticket is a contract. Your light bill is a contract. If you go to jail and you get sentenced in the county or the state, it's a contract. Your insurance, month to month, 12 months, every annual joint, recertified. It's a contract. Everything is contracts. Everything is contracts. That's why lawyers can go in and negotiate a contract for your time, sentence, or whatever, because they just want you to sign the contract. Just sign this so we can say that we did business and that's it. Because this is the United States of America's corporation. You understand? So everything is a contract. Everything. That's why you can negotiate everything. Everything is negotiable. That's why you can go into T-Mobile and negotiate your contract. You can go in there and say, hey, I own a business. Okay, cool. Show us proof of your LLC, your C corporation. And you show them and they say, okay, cool. We have to give you a discount. It's a contract. That's part of the contract. That's part of the rules of that contract. And a lot of people will be like, damn, I didn't know you could do this, and that. Yeah, because they don't teach business law in school. They don't teach certain things in school where you can get those discounts. I understand why rich folks always say, oh, we need more tax breaks. Oh, we need this, and that. And why poor people are saying, why are all these rich people getting these tax cuts? Reason why they're getting these cuts is because most of these rich people take whatever debt they have and turn it into money or income. These rich people take an LLC, a S Corp or a C Corp, and they go and document whatever they got to do, and they get businesses and they write everything off. You open up a business bank account with as little as $300 to $500. You can open up a business bank account with $100, but you open up a business bank account with $500, right? $300 to $500. You start your business off with that. Everything that you do with that card pertaining to business, swipe, swipe, swipe. Anything you do with business, swipe with that card. You go to the gas station, swipe. It's so real that even if you go to the gas station, right? I've been on the road doing trips for logistics, right? We done did trips from here to Cali. We done did Utah, Minnesota. We done been all over, right? The only place I haven't touched is Alaska or Canada, right? Doing shipping. And I would look at the receipt, digital receipt and the physical copy, because they're going to give you the physical copy even when you pay with a card. But you're going to see the actual digital receipt on your card. When I'm giving my accountant my returns and my accountant is seeing the returns, the only thing that it says on the return, the only thing that it was going to say on the return is gas station, Mobile Gas, Getty Gas, wherever you are. That's all it's going to say. That's all it's going to say. That right there, it's a write-off. I mean, and nobody knows. You don't know nobody knows what I'm doing inside the gas station. You don't know everything that you're purchasing within the gas station. Like, you go inside the gas station. I could go inside the gas station. I could go and say, yo, and I'm with people, you know, I got my guys, my crew, and my workers with me. So one guy might need a pack of cigarettes. Another guy might need coffee. I might need coffee. Everybody's getting breakfast or whatever. I might be putting $100 in my truck to fill the tank up 500 miles. And I might pay an extra $30 to $40 on snacks and stuff like that and supplies, so the guys can be good while we're driving. That $130, $150 is getting written off at the end of the year. That's all a tax write-off. That's all a tax write-off. That's why it's so, and once again, everything is not for everybody and everybody's not for you. That's why it's okay for rich people to be outnumbered, because they need people to work. It's okay for billionaires to be lonely and millionaires to feel alone, because everybody can't be a boss. Let me put this poll up. Let me put up another poll. Because, you know, like, sometimes I just gotta ask people questions. I just gotta ask. I'm just curious. Just curious. I just be wanting to know. I do. How did I do that? Let me see. How did I do this? How did I do that again? What was that? Oh, I like that. Oh, that's cool. Nice little. Okay, I like that. What's this? Let me see something. But wait, how the hell do I get? Okay, so unpin. Okay, so now that's done, right? So, can I do another one? What's the next poll? Because I just want to ask people. The question that I wanted to ask everybody, the question that I was going to ask everybody is, basically, John Maltese, Robin Wyckoff, 1 Corinthians, Anthony Moore, Jeff Ross, Aki, Janice Austin, Bird Money King, These Nucks, Chief Yvonne, Raina Anna, Casey Custom Creations, Clement Gaines, 5945, The Real C Double, The Says, Axel Foley, 1128. Shout out to all of y'all. My question was going to be, it's like a two-part question. Do you feel that the majority of people living in this country are more comfortable with getting told what to do as opposed to being able to tell themselves what to do? That was going to be my question. Simple question. You know what I mean? Just simple question. That was going to be my question. You understand? Because, like, you got to think, like, Jeff Bezos is in the logistics industry. Something that I never even factored in when I started. I literally saw, I kept seeing on Instagram box truck businesses. Shout out to Box Truck Bros too. Shout out to them because he definitely ride our key and love the illusion of having a choice. Right. The illusion, right? Get your bars up. Shout out to you. Get your bars up, right? The average person is okay, right, with someone telling them what to do, right? I'm not okay with that. The average person is okay. So when you're looking at this right here, right, this is from UShip, right? I'm in the process right now of launching a corporation because in 2023, just in the last 4 months of 2023, I was able to accumulate over $50,000. And the majority of that 55,000 came October and November, where I cleared 18,000 in October. I cleared 21,000 in November, right? I cleared 9,000, right? I cleared 9,000 in September. So that's 9, that's 18 is 27, right? And then 21, that's 48. I dropped down in December because now they put a restriction. The restriction was, hey, you don't have a DOT or a motor carrier number, you can't do moves from state to state. So I say to the people, I say, hey, well, why would you guys wait until I was on the platform for 6, 7, 8 months to say something to me? I said, I've already made over $40,000. Just this trip alone is a $13,000 trip, and I've been on the road for 5 or 6 days. So they're like, oh my God, we're just a very busy platform. We have over, what did they say? We have over 30-something thousand members on our platform. It's hard to keep up with everybody, right? This is the most money I've made in my life. I didn't have to have a boss or a higher up or I didn't need somebody to tell me what to do. I literally kept seeing Box Truck Bros on Instagram. Shout out to Box Truck Bros, right? I kept seeing them. Hold on, y'all. I kept seeing Box Truck Bros, right? I kept seeing them. I'm like, damn. Box Truck Bros is lit, right? Kept seeing them. I said, let me get up. My brother, shout out to Chandler Thompson Jr., 6113. Anybody that's watching this right now, I see all the numbers of people on here that's watching this. If any of y'all ever want to get into logistics, I am not a hater. I do not block people's wealth, and I want everybody to eat. If you ever want to get into this lane, holla at me. I'm willing to show you easy days. And you see this? Look, easy days. Easy days. Easy days. I'm just sitting there chilling. Easy days, look at that. Purchase refund, $2,500. You ship on the 3rd, $33. On the 1st, $1,600. October 30th, $37. You see what I'm saying? So now you look, you see that gap right there from October 30th to November 1st. You say, damn, what was you doing for 2 days? Taking a break? Driving to get to the next location? From $37.92 to $16.22. And then look at October 28th, moving expenses, $14.70. You know why my client sent me that $1,400? Yeah, Illumagati. Shout out to you, Illumagati. Anybody that is on this stream, y'all can hit me up right now. ZYIR_6K on Instagram. Okay? Anybody that want to talk about this, man, because it's easy money. This is no company. I didn't have to go to school and get my CDL. I didn't have to pay thousands of dollars for training. I didn't have to go and put up $30,000, $40,000 for a box truck because I didn't have all of that money in the beginning. I didn't have all that money to put up in the beginning. I literally was working on the farm with a dude who I first originally met. He was a DJ. I was doing photography. And in a few months into us doing parties, he says, hey, I need you to help me at a storage location. That turned into damn, we went from Virginia to Maryland, and we went to 3 or 4 different storages. I said, hey, buddy, I'm not trying to be nosy. My Insta is Zyir6K, ZYIR_6K, right? So, you know, I'm just using my truck to go back and forth, helping this dude with real estate in the beginning. I was doing equity building up properties, building up houses, going on the farm, right? So in the beginning, this is what I'm doing. Let me see if I can get a picture of the farm for you guys, because I got a lot of content in here, y'all. Got a lot of shit in there, right? See if I can get a picture of this farm for you. So that was really, here's one of my clients right here. Here's one of my clients. This was, okay, so you guys see the U-Haul trailer. So I would rent, in the beginning when I started, it was just a pickup truck and a trailer, because I was trying to basically say to myself, okay, how can I make money outside of just traveling? I'm driving back and forth to Maryland every day making money, but I'm killing my gas. I'm driving like 2-3 hours every day. So I'm making $400 a day, but out of that 400, I'll send home 100 so the kids is good. I sent home extra $50 for food or anything that's needed. You know, people need their stuff throughout the day. Oh, I want to go and grab my waters or my juices. Oh, I want to go get cigarettes. Oh, I want to go get weed. I want to go get roll up. All right, whatever y'all want to do here. Here's 100 for the kids. Here's $50. Go get y'all stuff, right? I got $250 left for myself. 300, right? Now I go throw 50 to 100 in the tank. Now I got 200 left. So I'm saying to myself, how can I go and get more money? So I start looking. I'm on YouTube. Looking. I'm like, damn, yeah, you could get money. But then I keep seeing on Instagram, you know how they say, marketing promotions, you click this, we will share your information, data, and all that. You give us permission to share it. So that's why when we have conversations on the phone and we open up Amazon, you be like, damn, I was just talking about a TV. There's a TV on Amazon. Hit that like button for me, y'all, because I'm gonna come on here for y'all more often. You know what I mean? Like I said, everybody can't keep up with the conversation on how I'm jump topics, but I got information to give people. So hit that like button. If y'all in here, y'all supporting what I'm saying, y'all want to make money, y'all interested in how we can make thousands of dollars, hit that like button. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna crush you. Hit that like, all right? So now, boom, right? You get a trailer from U-Haul, $25 for the day, right? So I go on the platform, I'm looking. I'll tell you about one of my first moves, right? One of my very, very, very first moves is like a $400 or $500 move. Something simple too. It was on something called Shipley.com, right? You go on Shipley, and on Shipley, the people who are putting things on there that they need shipped or moved from one spot to another, whether it's items, cars, RVs, pets, livestock, or whatever, construction materials, whatever you're moving, whatever they're putting on there, they can put it in their currency. So I've had clients from the UK, and you know, in the UK, we have a different exchange rate. In the UK, I remember when I had my eBay page open in the UK, if I was to sell a polar heart rate monitor for $300, in the United States, it's $300. If I sell that same heart rate monitor for $300 in the UK, it then turns into 300 plus 90, because they have like a 30% difference. So it would be 30% times, you know, the 300. So I'm getting an extra $100 just for a $300 item. So on Shipley, when you are helping people, right? You see, I'm gonna show you guys a picture of the truck, how things used to be. Just give you guys a kind of an idea. You see, you know, look at this. You could tell that I was moving. I was moving. You know what I mean? 806 arrival one. I was moving 70 mile. Like I was really moving. But so a client will put their stuff up there. Simple. Like one of my first clients, I go to the lady. I go. And I believe she had a move from it was like uptown in the Bronx, 233rd Street, 35th Street, uptown to Reed Avenue, Bronx, New York, going down to downtown, somewhere close to Brooklyn, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So it's like I said, somewhere between $375, $500 or whatever. And I might be saying $5 because of the tips, right? So it's woman in her 40s, 50s, whatever, just her and her daughter. It was a mattress, a box spring, the metal frame, and it was about 5 to 7 boxes, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't really need the trailer for this. I see this. Okay, I get there early. I start loading the boxes in. I put the boxes towards the back, right? Put the boxes towards the back, and I pin the mattress. I strap the mattress down. Pin the mattress, strap the mattress down, right? Lady's like, okay, thank you. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go right there. She's like, oh, you're heading straight there? I said, yeah. I said, I'm gonna go straight there. I'm like, am I dropping this off to somebody? She's like, oh no, we were gonna call an Uber. I was like, then the daughter says, do you mind if we ride with you? I said, okay, sure, no problem. That's my first customer ever doing logistics. I said, okay, cool, no problem. Lady gets in with her daughter, boom, 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 go downtown. Now with Shipley, the reason why I like Shipley over U-Ship, right? This is U-Ship right here. Now don't get me wrong, U-Ship pays good money, as you can see. $2,500 plus 16 is 41 plus 37. You know what I mean? Is 78 plus 14 is 92. That's $9,200 just from October 28th just to November 4th. From October 28th to November 4th. $9,000. So long story short, we're driving downtown, right? I drive the lady downtown Brooklyn. We get there, I unload everything for her. She's talking to me, so how long have you been doing this? I said, oh, I just kind of like started, I'm kind of fresh. I just felt like, as much as I put work into working for other people, I want to see what it would be like betting on myself and giving people a service. And this seems like something fun. And the lady's like, oh, she liked it. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. I'm going to keep dropping content on y'all, right? Keep dropping content on y'all. So, and make sure when y'all hit me up on Instagram, make sure y'all say, yo, logistics. ZYIR_6K. The number 6 and K. Zyir 6K. You'll see me pop up. I got my profile's like a gray Michael Kors suit. I got my braids before I cut my hair or whatever. It's like 40-something thousand followers or something like that. So yeah, and I get to her place or whatever, drop her off, unload everything. And then she says to me, what I like about Shipley, like I said, U-Ship is different. She says to me, how would you like to be paid? Now with U-Ship, you book a load, right? Let me show you what I mean by book a load, right? So look at this right here, right? This right here, damn, I wish I had a better picture for you guys. Whatever. So this right here is like, it says $12,756 in pending payments. And it says $463.20 released, right? So this right here, right? I have $12,000 in pending payments. With U-Ship, you book a load. After you book the load, the money goes into an escrow account because the client's already paid U-Ship. They already paid U-Ship. Now the escrow account is open. Remember what I said, everything is a contract. Everything is contracts. So now the contract starts because now the client says, okay, I accept them as a provider, as a service provider, right? They accept you. So for instance, I did Utah to Tennessee. Utah to Tennessee was a four bedroom, 3-bathroom move, right? I used a 26-foot truck, box truck for that, U-Haul box truck, right? I charged them $4,500. I picked it up Friday morning around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's me and 2 guys. It took us literally 2 hours to load that. By 10:30 in the morning, we were finished. I got there by 8. We were parked out 7:30, chilling, smoking, eating our breakfast, waiting. Like I'm militant with it. I don't play around with it. No matter what you do in life, no matter what vices you have, you can always make sure that you stay on top of your job. It doesn't matter if you drink, smoke, stay on top of your job. So I'm there early. By 10:30, we finish. We have to drive all the way to Tennessee, Utah to Tennessee. Bro, we hit the road as soon as we finish. At 10:30 a.m., we hit the road. We go, stop, get our supplies. Make sure my guys got whatever they need. Make sure y'all hit this like button. Hit this like button, right? I stop and make sure my guys got whatever they need. Whatever y'all need. This is one of my guys right here. It's one of my guys right here. Hit my guy right here. You know what I mean? OG. I stop and get my guys. Whatever y'all want to get, make sure we stop and get it, right? Bro, by I want to say 12 hours later, because it was like a 16-hour drive, 17-hour drive. Yo, 12 hours later, by like 9, 10 o'clock that night, I'm texting the lady like, hey, how you doing? I'm almost there. Her name is Haley. She says, oh my God. She says, Mr. Davenport, why are you driving so fast? I said, miss, I thought you wanted your stuff there as soon as possible. She said, oh my God, my husband didn't tell you we're not going to be there until Monday. We close on the house on Monday. I said, oh, we have a dilemma, because how can I wait until, yep, that's it right there, Aki. That's it right there, Aki. I'm going to pin that to the top. Everybody look at that pin message right there. Zyir 6K. That's the Instagram right there, y'all. Check that Instagram out, and we could talk money. I'll show y'all how to get this money. Here, I'm going to put this back up so y'all can stay inspired. Stay inspired, y'all, because I did it. I did it. I definitely did it. Like, if I did it, y'all could do it too. That's one thing I'm very big on. That. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. We get more viewers in here. Hit that like button, man, so I can drop this game on y'all. It's a free game. You understand? So boom, right? So I tell the lady, I'm like, yo, we're a few hours away from the spot. She said, okay, give me a second. I'm going to call you back. This is one of my moves. Utah to Tennessee, I charge the client $4,500, $4,500, right? All the other competition on this platform, on UShip, all the other competition, oh, we've been in business for 15, 20 years. We got $1 million insurance. We don't take nothing less than $5 or $6 a mile. $4,500 is too low. We got to charge you at least $7,000 to $8,000. Here I am, young black man with a decent pickup truck, trying to find a way to make money. Why would, with basic insurance, why would I be charging these people $7,000 or $8,000? I'm just getting in. I don't have 100 people to pay or 1,000 people to pay. And even if I did, I would find a way to make it affordable, economically affordable. That's how you beat the competition. I know what I need in life. I know that the average person only makes $150 to $200 a day. You multiply that by 5, that's $1,000 a week, times 52 weeks, that's $52,000 a year. That's pennies. That's pennies. That's pennies. If I'm showing y'all right here that within 6 days I could do 10,000, why would I be going to work for somebody to make 5 times that in 300 days? And I did a fifth of what the average person makes in 1 week. Come on, man. You can't be serious, man. Nah, you can't be serious, man. You can't be serious, man. And one thing that I can honestly say, let me get back to the story real quick. I don't mean to do that. You know what I mean? Let me shout out to where you at? 1 Corinthians is right. I do be jumping, but that's because we are in the form of gods. You understand? That ADHD thing is what they try to pin on us from the American Medical Association, because they want to just, you can't do that. You can't be that great. No one is that great to be able to jump from jump to jump to jump to jump. They don't want you to do that. So they hit you with the ADHD. Boom, right? So now check this out, right? She says, I'm gonna call you back. She calls me back, right? Shorty calls me back. She calls me back. She says, okay, check this out. This is what I'm gonna do. When do you have to be at your next location? I said, I gotta be at my next location. I was trying to be there by Sunday. It's now Friday going into Saturday morning. I don't know what you want me to do. She's like, okay, do you mind waiting for at least a day? I said, okay, I don't mind waiting for a day, miss. I'll wait for a day. She said, okay, if you could wait for a day, this is what I'll do. I know you got to pay your driver and your worker. I'm going to send you some money right now. Can you just send me your Venmo? I send her my Venmo. Moving expenses. You see that? You see what she did? You see what she did? She sent me $1,400. It was $1,500, but because I have a business account, Venmo, you know, they take their PC. She sends me $1,500. She sends me $1,500 because she's holding me up and I have to make money. I told her my driver makes $300 a day. My worker makes $200 to $250 a day. I said, I have to pay them. And you know, she was like, yeah, I know you probably, I know you probably $500 a day at least income. I understand how things go. She's like, all right, just give me a second. She sent me $1,500. So now when she sends me the $1,500, I give my driver his $300. I give my worker his money. I take them to the dispensary. I said, come on, guys, you want to go get some smoke? Want to go get some buzz? See if there's a dispensary around here. Let's go get something to eat. All on me, on my dime. Because if you're a boss and you're a leader, you want to treat people the same exact way you will want someone to treat you if you were working for a company. Whether you were a littling, whether you were the top of the top, whatever you was, hit that like button, y'all, because I'm going to keep dropping this facts on y'all. I'm showing y'all my accounts. I'm showing y'all the numbers. This is facts. Hit that like button. I'm showing y'all numbers. And I got more. I got more to show y'all. I could show y'all the Cash App. Well, y'all can look and be like, hold on, you really did that on Cash? Yeah. Yeah, let me show you the Cash App. Let me show you the Cash App. I'm going to show y'all the Cash App real quick. Matter of fact, here we go. Let me show y'all this real quick. Let me show y'all this real quick. Let me show y'all this right here. This right here, you see that? This is one of the pickups I had to do. This was a pickup from Pennsylvania to Texas. I charged them $2,700. Now I know y'all are probably saying, hold on, Pennsylvania to Texas? Why would you only charge $2,700? You know why I would only charge $2,700? Because from in between Pennsylvania to Texas, here I go right here. There's a picture of me right here, y'all. This is me when we were actually doing the Tennessee move. Make sure y'all hit that like button too, y'all. I'm gonna keep dropping pictures and showing y'all the money and showing y'all the chicken and how y'all can get the money. This is it right here, y'all. Right? This is it right here. This is it right here. Right? You see that, right? You see that? This was Utah to Tennessee. This is why, right? This move right here, right, is why she sent me this $1,500. That's why. It started off at $1,500. I mean, it started off at $4,500 from Utah to Tennessee, 4-bedroom, 3-bath move. She realizes I'm driving too fast. She says, hey, you're moving too fast. We're not gonna be there anytime soon, right? This was the neighborhood. This was the neighborhood that we moved them from, right? Hit that like button, y'all. More people coming in the room. There should be more likes going there. Hit that like button. Don't be afraid to comment, all right? Do not be afraid to comment. We here together. You know what I mean? These are some of the pieces. These are some of the items that I would have to move. Things like this from antique shops. I had to travel all over the country. Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont. I'm going to the New England colonies. A lot of people say New England Patriots, but they don't realize New England is composed of multiple states. So yeah, anytime I think of, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, yeah, we're going to the New England colonies. Okay, yeah, cool, yeah. So these are some of the things I had to pick up. It was stuff like this that I had to get. Stuff like this. And clients will love you. They love you. Hit that like button. Keep hitting that like button. Smash that like button. It's free. If it's 77 people in here, then we should have at least 50 or 60 likes. It's 77 people. We should have at least 50 or 60 likes, right? So now check this out, right? I remember clients, right? One client cried to me, man. This lady said to me, she said, she said, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. She said, because I've been wanting to get my mom this statue for such a long time, and nobody wanted to help me. Nobody wanted to help me get it. And they were trying to charge me so much money. And I said, I did notice that they were trying to charge a lot. She said, yeah, my mother wanted this statue since she was a little girl. She talked about how she would stand outside the window and there was like a certain lion statue she would stare at. I looked all over online because I know my mom's getting old and my mom might pass away any day. And I'm sitting here listening to this lady tell me the story and I'm like, damn. I'm like, wow. She said, you don't understand. I appreciate you so much. I'm like, wow. Damn. Like, you don't understand. Like, here I am competing with companies who have been in business probably since I was a baby, since I was a kid. And they're trying to take this woman, they're trying to drain her for everything she got. Why? Because they feel they gotta pay this or they deserve this or no, we deserve that amount because we got the $1 million insurance and we've been in business for 20, 30 years. They feel like they deserve that. That same type of attitude is the reason why there is a disparity in this country. Because if people really feel like, oh no, we deserve this. People feel like, yeah, we're obligated to this. No, you're not obligated to nothing. You're not obligated to nothing. And that's exactly why I charge what I charge. That's why I always will beat the competition out. I've been sitting down for the last 14, 16 months. balancing everything out, making sure that I do everything right. So when I drop this C corporation, I drop it. It's not going to just be logistics. My corporation is not just going to be logistics. It's going to be logistics. It's going to be a 501c nonprofit because I want to give back to the community and align myself with different companies and feed people. There's going to be media because, yes, I am a cameraman, a photographer, a broadcast journalist. I know how to do the technical work on the screens with the layers, and I also know how to sit on the screen and talk. Yes, and apparel as well. Yes, shout out to you, Chandler Thomas Jr. Yeah, apparel as well. Yeah, because when I started doing the videography work and going to battle rap events, interviewing artists, I started going to the mall and getting my clothes printed up. During the pandemic, when the pandemic hits, and now I'm getting contracts with the news and live streams for the news, I saw the pandemic coming because I got a contract to go cover 6 or 7 schools in the Rockland County District. I go cover 6 or 7 schools in the Rockland County District. All of those schools were on quarantine. I said, something is not right. I literally got that contract right in the beginning of the pandemic. And during the pandemic, I meet an OG who likes to make clothes. And I start doing vinyl printing using the Cricut machine, using the heat press, learning how to do embroidery with the Brother machine. So I'm learning all of this during the pandemic. So yeah, absolutely. It will be logistics, it will be media, it'll be apparel, and it'll be nonprofit. I'll be giving away because it's too much money in the world. It's too much money in the world. And here, let's go to this. Oh no, this is not nothing. But should we go back to this? Should we go back to what that say? Oh, it's not gonna show you the full thing. It ain't gonna show you the full thing. All right, I guess not. It's cool. I was trying to show y'all the full thing where it says on Cash App, amount in 18,100, amount out 18,000. So I was just trying to show you guys that, but because we're on the screen, it's not gonna let us. But yeah, man. I mean, listen. If you, like I said, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If there's any questions that y'all have, any questions that you guys have, we started off talking about Druski and Erica Kirk, and now I'm over here talking to y'all about business. So hit that like button, y'all. Make sure y'all share the video, comment, hit the bell notification so y'all can see when I'm going live, because I'm going to do this more often. I done had so many different monetized channels on YouTube. It's insane. Like, this is probably like my 3rd or 4th monetized channel. But I just like speaking, like giving people information. Information is everything, and we don't give enough of it to each other like we should. But we need to. It's everything. It's everything. And with the media being distorted, and look at the era of information that we're in now, where the Epstein files get released. Now people get an actual chance to look at other people that look like them and say, damn, you guys are demons. You guys are devils. Why would you be doing this type of stuff to kids and women and adults in general? What are you guys trying to do? And hearing about sacrifices and blood oaths, and people are like, wow. When we were growing up in the 90s, our parents would have looked at us, and our peers and our teachers would have said, this is conspiracy. This is just theories. And now that it's being released and put in front of our faces, people are looking like, okay, I got to go to work. Life goes on. Life people just overlook everything. Oh, really? Okay, cool. And then, it brings me even down to this conclusion right here. I can show 1,000 people this. I sold so many people about this when I first started. I went through my ups and downs. There were times where I said, you know what? Yeah, I got $2,000, $3,000 in my pocket. I'm not going to pay for a hotel because I have to think about gas and toll. I'll sleep in the truck. Let me go to the gas station. Let me go get my bud. Let me go get my backwoods and roll up for the night, my papers. Let me get my juices. I'm going to go grab a bag of chips or something like that. And I'm going to go sit in there with my tablet, connect to the hotspot or the internet. And I'm going to go watch some Netflix, play the game, and go to sleep in this truck. I had my ups and downs. But even this showed me that most people in the world would rather have somebody tell them what to do than to go out and try to do it on their own. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Now, I understand, like I said, I understand that what I'm saying is not for everybody that's watching this. What I'm saying is not for everybody. Everybody can't be a boss. You have to have workers. You have to have people that say, you know what? Yeah, there's 1,000 of us, but 850 of us, after seeing everything, we don't want to take on those responsibilities. So we'll let you 150 people do it. And then out of that 150, after seeing those 850 people tap out, 50 of those 150 people might be like, yo, you know what? After seeing that, I don't want no parts of this either. I don't want no parts of this. And that's just how it is, man. That's how life is. That's how life is. That's how it be. That's how it is, man. Oh my God. Okay, I might stay with y'all for a little longer. Kevin Kebs, shout out to you, Kevin Kebs. I'm gonna pin this comment. We're gonna replace this. We're gonna replace this. Shout out to you, Aki. I appreciate you, Aki. All love. I appreciate you. Kevin Kebs. He said 103,000 jobs lost in January. 93,000 jobs lost in February. Gas is at $5 a gallon. God. So, whoo. Oh my God, $5 a gallon? Pardon me, I'm my little blunt. Yo, and that's another thing too. Why I want to teach people about this logistics, why I want to stay on top of it. Because of, just think about it, you guys. Everybody can't be a truck driver. Everybody doesn't know customer relations, so I don't expect everybody to know how to talk to a client, how to approach a move, how to be able to gauge the size of the space that you would need in cubic feet or in truck space when you're doing apartment moves or when you're moving certain equipment. You know what I mean? You have to know how wide a 26-foot truck is based upon the things that you're moving. I had a guy, Richie, out in Jersey who needed me to pick up pianos and pianos, keyboards, and embroidery machines from all over the country. But this dude was hitting me with like, he would hit me with like $900 to $1,300 a pickup. So I'm like, yo, and at this time, I'm everywhere. So he like, yo, Carl, you in Florida? Yeah, I'm in Florida. Yo, I got this embroidery machine I need you to pick up. Now, the thing with Richie is, Richie would have the embroidery machine and the pickup is fine. The money's fine because it's just extra cash. This is just pocket change while I'm doing the bigger pickups. I could have a pickup for like $5,000, but in between where I'm leaving and my destination, I'm literally creating a trail of pickups. So I could have a $5,000 pickup, but in between that, I have $1,200 here. I got a $600 pickup over there. I got a $1,300 pickup over there. I got a $400 pickup over there. So in between getting to that $5,000-$6,000, I probably already made $3,000. I made what I'm going to pick up already in between picking that up. You have to be smart. So Richie would get these machines to me, and these machines would be 18 needle head embroidery machines. So the machine is like 9 feet long, 10 feet. And I'm like, damn, Rich. All right. And then another problem is when you're picking up certain items, in order to pick those items up, hit that like button too. Hit the like button, y'all. In order to pick up certain items, like an embroidery machine like that, an embroidery machine is, it could easily, a embroidery machine could be 700-800 pounds, 900-pound embroidery machine. You need a lift gate. If you don't have a lift gate, then you have to call a local truck with the lift that'll come and hook, or a tow that'll hook onto the embroidery, put it onto the back of the truck, and then you do a mechanism where you shimmy, push, whatever. It's a whole bunch of extra stuff. But it was still money. Money, 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 money. There was another guy out in Wichita, Kansas. I'm still in contact with him to this day. First time I picked up from him. Man is a second generation business owner. His father owned the company before him. He owns it now, and he still has one of the workers who started with his father. I was doing matter of fact, I might have these pictures. Matter of fact, here it is right here. This right here. I picked this up from a warehouse in Newark, New Jersey, right? This was a pickup from Newark, New Jersey, going to Overland Park, Kansas. Now, Overland Park is about, I want to say 13, I want to say 13 to 17 hours. I might be wrong. Overland Park is not that, I want to say 11, let's say 11 to 13 hours, Overland Park, Kansas, from Newark. So when I do the estimates and I see what he's charging, he said like 1,500 or something like that. I'm like, nah. I'm like, cool dude too. I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna need like, if you could throw like an extra 3 on there, make it 18, I'll be good. I should charge you even 2, because I got to do a round trip back, especially because this is on the drop of a dime. Like this, he was asking me to do this on the last minute thing, but I'm looking and I'm like, yo, it's an extra 1,500. My truck on $100, 120 at that time for gas. I could fill up my truck, and do 450 to 500 miles on one tank. So if I'm doing a trip that's 1,100 miles, I'm pretty much spending $400 round trip. Out of that 15, I'll probably only get back 11. So that's why I tell him, yo, you got to offset that. You got to add extra 3 or 4 on top of that. He says, all right, bet. This is what I'll do. I'll cash up you 400 right now. But I need you to do this is very strict instructions. When you drop this off, I need you to make sure that when you drop this off, there's this one piece right here. You notice how I got the pegs on it right here, right? On the foot of it. You notice how I got the pegs on the top? That one piece right there was in a box. It was cushioned and it was specially wrapped. He said, I need you to take this out, unbox the frame, pop open the wooden frame, and I need you to take a picture of it and then bring it inside, because that's a delicate item. It's expensive. I said, all right, bet. I said, bet. No problem. Right? Now, I sent him the picture. He clears the 1,500. So I got the 4 plus the 5. I probably spent about $250 on the way, because I remember gas, 1,100 miles there. Before I got there, though, I wind up booking an ice cream machine. It was a pickup in Wichita. Remember, I'm in Overland Park, Kansas. I have a pickup in Wichita. Overland Park, and y'all can look this up right now, because one thing I don't forget is numbers. I know my numbers. Overland Park from Wichita is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I tell the guy, hey, I'm done with my pickup in Overland. I'm on your way to Wichita. He says, all right, cool. I charge him $600 to pick up this ice cream machine and drop it off in Baltimore. He doesn't know what I'm out here doing. He doesn't know what I'm out here doing. Like I said, I don't have a massive company. I didn't have 30, 50, 100 employees. It was just me and whoever I decided to bring on the road. So $1,500 to drop that off in Overland Park. The guy already sent me $400, so that's $19. I charge him $6 for the ice cream machine. That's $25. So now, let's add an extra $100 and say round trip, I'm gonna spend $500 on gas, right? I'll spend $500 on gas. I just made $2,000 though, so it don't even matter. The guy says to me, yo, I've been running this company for almost 7 years now. I have 4 to 5 different trucks on the road. None of these guys were gonna take my load and drop it off for the number that you gave me. Everybody's charging me $1,000 or more. Literally, this is what this man is telling me. His first time ever seeing me. He says, yo, I don't know how you're coming up with this formula. I don't know how you're feeding yourself. I hope that you can take home some money from this. But he said, yo, God bless you. This is what this man is telling me. This bald-headed white brother is telling me this. And he's looking at this old man that's next to him who's been working for the company since his father owned it. And he says, yo, I really appreciate you. The old man says, yo, man, that's really cool what you're doing, man. He says, yo, whenever you're out here in Kansas, call me. I always have work for you. I will always have work for you. And that's why I love logistics. And let's bring it further even more. I know I was going to go, but I love talking. Let's bring it further even more, right? You realize how rich Jeff Bezos has become, right? Why? Logistics. In order to get these items to people all over the world, Jeff needs warehouse space. Jeff needs trucks. Jeff needs drivers. Jeff Bezos needs bikers. Jeff Bezos needs everything. He needs the whole package. But notice logistics is so big that even with that, Jeff Bezos still needs to outsource his work because it's too much work. If you run a Verizon, you need logistics. You need somebody who's going to ship iPads, iPhones, Galaxies, tablets. You need these things shipped to your store. If you are a Stop and Shop, a ShopRite, a Price Chopper, a Piggly Wiggly's, a Food Lion, wherever you are, you need logistics. If you're a wine company, whether you're privately owned on a farm in Napa Valley or wherever, you need logistics. You need someone that's going to come and get your stuff shipped. Whether you're packaging it or whether you're charging them to package it and ship it. Whatever it is, you need logistics. So this is why I appreciate this. Salute to William Lynch 578. Medical is always going to be big. Medical absolutely needs logistics because you need people to transplant. You need people. You need. I said transplant. You need people who are going to ship things back and forth. Look, when you have to have the helicopters ship hearts and organs and things of that nature. Look at all of the things that you need done. Just look at everything that you need in the world. You need logistics. Logistics is the thread of the world. This country, more importantly, but definitely the world. Import, export. You need warehouse space. When cars need to be delivered from the auto auction to the dealership, they need somebody with a pickup truck and a car trailer. That's logistics. Delaware. The state of Delaware, where the United States is incorporated. Delaware is 90 minutes wide, an hour and a half wide. That's how long Delaware is. It's small. But do you know what? In Delaware, you can make a killing on tow trucking. Why? Because there's probably only 15 to 17 tow truck companies in Delaware, and they're all charging $150, $120. You can go into an industry like Delaware in the state and say, you know what? $75 for tows. And you like, what? $75 for tows. Towing is logistics. Warehousing is logistics. Shipping is logistics. You can go right now in New York City, right? Right now in New York City, if you have all your insurance and your proper paperwork, your DOT, MC and everything, well, not MC, but DOT, need your DOT. And you have your insurance and everything like that. You know you could go into the NYPD police precincts and have them put you on rotation for their towing so you can pick up on the throughways, the highways, and the streets. And because NYPD has a set price, NYPD has a set price, meaning, now check this out. Notice how I just told y'all, if you want to, you can go to Delaware right now and charge people $75 to $100 for tow because the average price is $120 and up. And there's only 15 to 17 companies, so you can change the market. It's easy. I'm telling you, it's so easy. People don't get fooled. It's not that hard to reach success. And even when you hit a certain level of success, you dumb down the things that you want in life because success is like, this is it. I just need to do this to take care of everybody. And I need to just build my resources. But after I have how much resources can I build? And then after I'm done building them, I'm right back to being bored. So you could literally, in New York City, the NYPD, if you get on their rotation to be a tow truck driver, the NYPD won't let you charge less than $185 for a tow. That's insane. That's insane. In Newark alone, I believe there's over 30,000 or 50,000 tows just in the city of Newark, New Jersey alone every year. 50,000 tows. So imagine 50,000 tows, right? You come in and you say, yo, you know what? I want to get into logistics, but I'm going to do the towing sector of logistics. You go get you a basic lift kit. You don't got to get the big old crane thing when you pull the truck. No. Basic lift kit with the wheel lift where you just put it on the back of your truck. You back up to the thing. You hit the button. It lifts up the wheels, the front wheels, and then you just drive off. Simple wheel lift. You could get that right now come to Newark, New Jersey, there's 50,000 minimum cars being towed annually in Newark, New Jersey. That's 4,000 cars every single month. That means every week on the minimum, 1,000 cars is being towed. You come into that market and say, okay, 1,000 cars is being towed. The average price is somewhere between 175 to 250. What do I need for today? Well, if the average person only makes $150 to $200 a day in this country, which I already told you, I'll come down to about 50,000. Why would I come to an area like Newark where they charge $250 a tow and charge $250? You come to an area like Newark and you charge $150 a tow. You take $100 off and promote that on the truck. Lowest towing company in the city of Newark. Lowest tow prices in the city of Newark. And then if you really want to get crazy, go look at the average price for the state of New Jersey. I bet you if you look at the average price for the state, it might be $150. So now if you really want to get even more ignorant, you could say, hey, check this out. I'm charging set price $125. If it's anything over 30 miles, it's an extra $1 or $2 a mile. Now that's unbeatable. Because now check this out. You go down to Salem, New Jersey. Salem, New Jersey is 10 to 15 minutes adjacent to Delaware. Do you know how much property right now is for sale in Salem, New Jersey? And because the people in Salem is so poor, they can't afford to get the property. It's so poor down there. So now imagine somebody going down there coming from Delaware or going down through that part of, Penske area, Jersey, down Salem area and getting stuck over there, right? But they from Northern Jersey and they need somebody to tow them. Down there, they're going to try to bust them in the head. Oh, shit, where you got to go? You in Salem? You 2.5, 3 hours away from Newark? All right, well, check this out. We usually charge $250 for the tow. We're going to give you a break, though. We're going to give you the $200 price. But anything over the 50 miles is going to be $3 a mile. And from here, Salem to Newark is at least, what if they tell you, 120 miles. So now you got to pay 70 times the extra $2 a mile. That's $140 plus the $200. That's $340. They told you they gave you a $50 discount, but that discount to them don't matter because they just made $340. And it only took them 2 hours to do it. And I just told you the average person only makes $150 to $200 a day. So and just one person, just one pickup, they could smack you in the head for $300. This is how you change the game. That's with any industry. Change the price. You figure out what works for you and you fuck up the industry. You fuck up the whole industry. That's how the game works in any industry. And it worked for me. It worked for me with shipping and logistics and towing. All them rich white folks, oh, we've been in business 20 years. We got $1 million. I'll go right on that board and be like, miss, how much you said you got for the move? Oh, I only got $3,500. Well, check this out. I'll take the 35 and I'll give you back 10% if you book within the next hour. You know how many clients I got like that, man? Because who's complaining about making $3,500 in a day, having to spend $600 on gas on a round trip, even if I ain't got nothing coming back? I could walk around and ask the average person, did you make $1,000 today? Did you make $2,000 today? I made $3,500, but I had to spend $600 on gas because I booked the trip 5 hours away and I didn't book nothing back. So I had to spend $600 on gas and I only got 29 left. How many people can say that? Is that really a problem? Sounds like a great problem to me. How many people can say that? Not a lot of people. So be smart, people. Everybody can't be a worker. Everybody can't be a boss. But there's gonna be definitely more workers than there is bosses, because that's just how life is. Not everybody's willing to take them risks. I'm a risk taker. Mama Love Ben told me that. My biggest fan. My biggest fan. You know what I mean? My mom is my biggest fan because my mom, one thing I love about my mom works 16 hours a day. Can't nobody get her to stop working, not even her husband. And I told my stepfather, I said, I love you to death, man, but you know, my mother wants you. She don't need you for nothing. Love you to death, man. Because my mother outworked men. She run laps around men. So naturally, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You think I'm not gonna just sit around and just be lazy. I come from a man and a woman that naturally work 14 or 16 hour days. That's normal to them. Like that's normal to them. 16, 17-hour days are normal. That's normal. You understand? But that's the mindset that you have to put yourself in to say, hey, I got to sacrifice for these people. I got to sacrifice for this. I have this to do. I have these things to do, these people to take care of. And then as you get older and your kids have kids and you become a grandparent, a father, a mother, matriarch, patriarch of the family, now you take on these responsibilities with a smile on your face. Now 16 hours a day is like, oh, this is a breath of fresh air, right? So as we go through generation, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you took from life that you brought back to your village or your parents and said, you know what? I saw how hard you worked. All your life, all my life, I watched you work so hard. This is what I'm doing because I don't want all the people that come after us to have to do that much work. It'll be that much easier and they all will have a blueprint because a 9 to 5 is not that's just for the moment. That's just, okay, I'm gonna do this. Because look what they're telling you, right? My mom retires another 5 years. She worked 2 jobs, I just told you. Working 2 jobs over 30 years, both jobs. That T-Row retirement account, come on. The average person is not retiring with over $100,000 a year. But my friends, when I speak to my friends from high school, a lot of their parents tapped out. A lot of their moms were housewives. They didn't really work. They waited until they were 45 and we got older and we were leaving high school to start going to find 9 to 5. So their Social Security and their benefits are not going to be nothing. It's not going to be nothing. Logistics, right? And social media is good too, but logistics showed me that you can go out in 5 to 10 years and write a retirement for yourself that somebody did working 40 to 50 years. Huh? How that sound? In 10 years doing trucking, no bullshit, right? In 10 years of doing trucking, it could be 5, but let's just say 10, right? Let's say 10 years, right? Let's say we all 35 right now, right? Say we all 35, right? You could say to yourself today, you know what? I want to get into the logistics games. Now, mind you, I didn't have any help. This is why I told you I had to stop, reset, and start going through the paperwork again because I didn't have help. I'm not the type of person to go around and be like, hey, I need your help with this. I need your help with that. I wasn't like that when I was a kid. You would see me one day, I would be like, And then you would see me either the next day or the following week, and different. Why? Because that's what I wanted. I don't need to put it out there to anybody. I'm just going to get it. I could get excited. We all do. You get excited. You go tell your peoples. That was something I was also taught. Don't tell everybody everything you're doing. Because once again, everything isn't for everybody and everybody's not for you. I understood that at a young age. I was easily. Because why am I telling you? Your life is different. You're not in that mindset. You're okay with going to work. I'm not about to go tell you about these plans that I got to be the next Lex Luthor, right? You know what I mean? The next Batman, you know what I mean? And they showed us all this shit when we was kids, right? Batman. My parents died. I want to fight crime. How can he do that? Wayne Enterprises, right? Wayne Enterprises is the parent company, right? A non-operational company. It sits in a trust. You can't touch it. It doesn't do anything. It does not operate. So you can't sue him for that, right? He's a billionaire. Then he has Wayne Tech. Wayne Tech is a subsidiary under Wayne Enterprises. That's the tech under the umbrella. That's where Lucius Fox runs his tech. He gets all that technology from all over the world doing business with people, right? Then he has the Wayne Foundation, nonprofit. That's a 501c. Most people who went to churches growing up and went to school didn't realize, that's why the pastor looks better than all of us. Because the pastor is getting organizations. He's getting donations from the church. That's why every time a president comes in office, they go speak to Al Sharpton. They go speak to T.D. Jakes. They go speak to all the black pastors. Why do they do that? Because they know they can tell these black pastors, tell your congregation to go vote for this. And why are they going to do it? Because they believe that this pastor has been sent from God to speak to them. They're going to do whatever he say. And that's all over a 501c. That's a 501c nonprofit. That's federal. You ain't got to pay no taxes. Did you know, right, during the pandemic, During the pandemic, the people who tell us that they come from Israel, but we know nobody left Israel black and came back white, right? Those people, them same people that's messing everything up, right? Don't you know they made it possible where if every Sunday you do an hour to 2 hours of religious worship on the digital Zoom, YouTube, whatever, and you got proof of it, you don't got to pay taxes on your house. You ain't got to pay taxes on your house. Did you know that? And the only thing you got to do to qualify for that is go online and take the certificate to be ordained as a minister. You know that certificate is as cheap as $30, $40. One day, every week, an hour, and you ain't got to pay no taxes on your house. How many people don't know that? And they started doing that during the pandemic. How did they figure that out? Why? Oh, because we're in the house. We can't go to the mosque. We can't go over here. We can't go to the temple. Okay, so we have to, yes, we have to figure it out. And they figured it out. They did it inside the house. No, well, yeah, because you got to think the reason why it would only be houses is because a place of worship is already a 501c. That's already a nonprofit. That's why most of the biggest Catholic churches in the country send money to the Vatican. They pay tithes. The Catholics pay tithes to the churches pay tithes to the Vatican. How about that? How about that? Let me not talk too crazy before they, you know what I mean? They be like, oh, we gonna hit this nigga stream. Yeah, but that's just what it is. That's just what it is. They're already 501c's. The schools that we went to are 501c's. The universities that teach the history, that make you stamp these Greek numbers and things of that nature on your body. Why would I be doing that? Why would I stamp myself, brand myself for a university that is teaching Catholic religion? That's Catholicism. And then people say, oh, you're not part of, you don't got no brothers, the fraternities, the sororities, you ain't got no brothers and sisters. If they didn't come out my mother, they're not my brother and sister. What? We ain't grow up together? What you talk about? We do business together? What do we do together that would require me to sit here and say, I got to stamp myself? And this is another thing. Oh, Greek pledges, right? That's what they call it, the Greek pledges, right? This is another thing, right? That's funny, right? A lot of the philosophers from back then that stole that information, you guys look up who was the philosopher who drank the hemlock poisoning. Please, guys. Please, because I don't want to switch over. I don't want to switch the page. Who drank the hemlock poisoning? Was it Socrates? Was it Plato? Who was it? Because they were stealing so much information back then from Egypt that they started executing them. A lot of these philosophers, Socrates, Pythagoras, Plato, you can't find stories of their early childhood. It's like their story starts once they get to Egypt. But most people don't see that. Go check out a book called Stolen Legacy. Stolen Legacy. Check that book out. Right? After Mansa Musa, right? They talk about Bill Gates. They say, oh, Bill Gates, they only have 2,000 years old. Right. 2,000 to 3,000 years old, right? Neanderthal. They got Neanderthal in their DNA. And if for most people go look that up, Neanderthal pretty much means that they're part animal. Yeah, that's what that means. That means that they're part animal. You look at the chromosomes of the African male or woman, we have dozens of more chromosomes than any other species on this planet. And the black women have even more than the black male. Like I said, scientists have already said, we all come from black people. 150,000 years of civilization goes back to Africa. They told us about dinosaurs in school, but who believes that? As much as I want to believe in dinosaurs, it's like, I don't know. And if they were they around that long ago? Or were they around when the Nephilim fell? It's a lot. It's a lot to try to put together, but it's a lot to try to put together. It is. It's a lot. It's a lot to try to put together. It is. But either way, them was dragons. Empire of Morocco 1201. Shout out to you. They tried to hide your comment just now, but I unhid the comment. I'm for the people. I will say this before I respond to your comment. Shout out to everybody that's watching this. When I saw Leor Cohen step into the offices of YouTube, and I started seeing pages become flagged, demonetized because of all of this rhetoric of anti-Semitism and things of that nature, I kind of fell back from YouTube. This is 2017, 18, a few years before the pandemic hits. I said, I just can't do this. I said, why, as much as I want to come and talk to people about a whole bunch of things, why am I doing this if these people are just going to flag my page? And all I'm doing is telling the truth. I never lied about anything. I don't have to lie about anything because I'm either going to be transparent about my life or I'm coming to talk about what is being shown to us in the public from the celebrities. I was taught from my friend to reference where I get my news and information from. I put pictures up. I show, hey, this is from BBC. This is from ABC. This is from CBS. This is from MSNBC. This is from Revolt. This is from this. This is from BET News. This is from Black Star News. This is from Urban Black Media. I always make sure. Right. A lot of people don't believe. Okay, so yeah. Empire of Morocco said, we got 9 strands. The Africans got 7. The Asians got 5. And white people we don't know. But yes, absolutely. Which is another reason why people are saying, is this why a lot of black kids are going missing? Once again, I'll mention this. Hillary Clinton allegedly was looking for the tomb of Gilgamesh. And if what they say in the books about Gilgamesh is correct, that he was looking for eternal life, and he was intentionally put in a resurrection tomb so that one day he could be resurrected. If what they say is true, and Hillary possibly found this tomb, then hey, who knows? Listen, there's so many things in this world. I bet you a lot of people don't know about Sophia Stewart. A lot of people don't know about this black woman, Sophia Stewart, who wrote The Terminator, and she wrote The Matrix. Allegedly. Sophia Stewart, black woman, native roots to this land, the oracle, the true oracle, Sophia Stewart, allegedly wrote The Matrix and The Terminator. So now you check this out, right? JC, John Connor, AKA Jesus Christ. John Connor, AKA Jesus Christ, is about to be born from this woman. It was supposed to be an immaculate conception because she doesn't know how the hell she got pregnant, right? But what happens? Who comes back from the future to try to help her from this cyborg and intentionally get her pregnant in a different time zone, right? Now notice, allegedly, James Cameron can't explain to you where he got the concept of John Connor and the Terminator. Go look up interviews of James Cameron giving you a full breakdown of the Terminator and where he got John Connor from. Now let's fast forward. Neo, right, wakes up. He's in the future. Man versus machine, right? Still a war. It's still a digital war. The digital war is coming. We couldn't see it in the 90s, us in our 30s, 20s. You, teenager, you definitely didn't see it because you wasn't around. You was born in the 2000s. Our parents and our elders, few saw it. A lot of them were blinded because of the television and entertainment and things of that nature. A lot of people missed it, though. Still a digital war. They showed us in 1987, real FaceTime. They showed us in the 80s FaceTime anyway. Star Trek. We seen them do FaceTime. Boop, Spock. Boop, Spock. Boop, Captain, right? They were FaceTiming on Star Trek. They showed us Total Recall. Boop, Quaid. FaceTime. DARPA, which is a department of the United States that works on advanced technology and things of that nature, usually has a 30-year head start. 30 years. That's 3 decades. 10, 10, 10. They gave us in the 80s FaceTime. 30 years later, what do we get in 2007? The iPhone. Right? Now, John Connor gets brought to the Oracle. Right? I'm going to break down a little history to you. So, Salem witch trials. Witches. They took the term witches and put that on white women. Right? It's almost like legacy could be so washed and wiped away that people will steal a story even if it makes them look bad just so nobody else can be held accountable for the story. How crazy is history, right? Because the witches, the oracles, were the oracles, right? Because remember, Morpheus bought Neo to go see the oracle. Notice it's not a white woman. This is a black woman. Why didn't people question, damn, why would this black woman be able to tell him everything that's going to happen? How can she see all of this? Nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned that, right? The Buffalo Soldiers, when they were fighting the war in the United States in the early 1900s, they got information from the oracles. The oracles were allegedly witches who allegedly were able to tell these black soldiers how to win these wars. Those were the oracles. Okay? Go and do your research. Fahrenheit 451 was a real thing. A lot of books burned because they don't want you to have the information. Why do you think we went from having iPods, MP3, MP4 players where you can store music, you can store videos, right? You can still do that on your phone, but now they want you to buy the space. They could shut YouTube down right now. If you didn't store your videos, they have all your content. Facebook, if you didn't store it, they have all your content. Instagram, if you don't save everything and put your settings on save to device after posting, they could shut it down right now. They have all your content. But most people don't pay attention to these things. They don't pay attention to them. Go and look up Sophia Stewart. Sophiastewart. This is the woman who wrote The Terminator and wrote The Matrix. The government approached her at the fact that they asked her, how did you know how to operate the alien spacecrafts? Because we tried it and we couldn't do it. But your method is exactly how to operate the ship. They asked Sophia Stewart this. And Sophia Stewart told them honestly, I had a vision. I come from this, I come from that, I come from this bloodline and this tribe. And we come from a line of oracles. And I see things. I want to show you guys where they took Storm, Black Panther, and Spider-Man from. I want to show you guys this. Because, and Thor. Those are all synchronizations, by the way. So, Thor, synchronization down to the Greeks, which was Zeus. Synchronization down to the Africans, which is a totally different god. Right? Spider-Man, right? They took that. Spider-Man is an African god. Go look. I'm going to get you guys the actual names of these gods. I'm going to get you the actual names of these gods. But Spider-Man is a real god. He's a real, actual god. A real, actual god. Africa. Ancient Africa. Loki. God of deception. Mischief. African god. I can literally bring this down to you. And to be honest with you, I feel like Stan Lee, I actually had the contract for the news when Stan Lee passed away. Stan Lee was raised in the Bronx on University Avenue. So when he passed away, I had a contract from New York One, Channel News. I worked for a company called Stringer. And this app, you guys can go and download it right now. Stringer is STRINGR. There's no E, just Stringer, right? You can download Stringer. And on Stringer, what they do is if you're within location of news or any breaking news or anything they need filmed, they'll send you the contract. They'll send it to you. Hey, how you doing? We noticed that you're within the area of this. There's a protest. There's a car has ran into a building. There's a huge fire. A wall collapsed. A building collapsed. Whatever it is, a construction site, a building fell down on the construction site. We need you to get the footage. They'll tell you go get the footage. So I got the footage of Stan Lee in his apartment after he passed away. It's crazy because I was only living a few blocks from there. He grew up in an apartment on University Avenue and 176 in the Bronx. I was living 3 blocks away on Popham Avenue. It's Andrews, Davids, Popham. So I'm living on Popham Avenue 3 blocks away, so I go get the contract. One thing I can say about Stan Lee, when I look at, as I got older and I saw Professor X, I saw Martin Luther King. When I saw Professor X, I saw Martin Luther King. He would always tell the mutants, don't attack. Don't be savages like the humans. Show them we can be better. Right? This is what Professor X used to always say. And it reminded me of Martin Luther King. I'm like, damn. He always telling them, be better. Be better. But then on the flip side, you have Magneto. Magneto's more of the hands-on approach. If they hit you back by any means necessary, right? Magneto reminds me of Malcolm X, right? If you look at Storm, she's also an ancient African god. We're gonna get the names of it. I'm gonna get all the names of this for y'all. Make sure I hit that like button too, because I'm about to slide out soon, right? Been here chopping it up with y'all since like 10 something, right? So the mutant X gene will be whatever it is that will strip an entire population and culture away of all their powers, right? Remember, mutants were slaves at once. They enslaved the mutants, remember? Sounds similar, right? If you look at Apocalypse, Go look at Apocalypse, right? Look at Apocalypse in the X-Men. Look at his storyline. In the X-Men, Apocalypse is the oldest living mutant. First. What do they do to Apocalypse? They deceive Apocalypse, lock him into a chamber. Celestial beings. Where's Apocalypse from? He's from Africa. Look at the tomb that Apocalypse sleeps in. Just look at it. Just think about that, right? Don't that seem crazy to you? Like, X-Men is literally, you can literally relate it to civilization. Also, notice the Illuminati is in X-Men. Literally. And who's a part of the Illuminati? Charles Xavier. Ain't that funny? Because I remember Martin Luther King, not saying that he's part of the Illuminati. He could have been bourgeois, he could have been part of a lot of things. But one thing I will say, one of Martin Luther King's last speech was, I felt that I failed my people and I led them into a burning flame, to a burning house. That's what he said. What did he mean by that? I don't know. But I will say this. Once you start taking money from the very same people that you say is oppressing you and putting you into adverse situations, it's almost like you're willing to take and deal with whatever they dish out. What if we found out that Martin Luther King was paid so that he could lead us into those marches to be hurt and to be affected? What if we found those things out? Allegedly. Allegedly, we found out that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was sleeping with a lot of women in the temple. Allegedly. Elijah Muhammad was allegedly impregnating a lot of women in the temple. Elijah Muhammad allegedly conspired to take out Malcolm because he felt more comfortable sitting back, relaxing, doing whatever he wanted to do, knowing that he was able to buy time with the FBI because allegedly Elijah Muhammad allowed the FBI and helped the FBI, aided and abetted the FBI, allegedly, in conspiring against Malcolm X, getting recordings against Malcolm X, putting bombs on his car, allegedly. You understand? So we sit here and we complain about so many different things. Black face, white face. You got to understand, when people have an agenda, there is no color. You can see that now. We already see what ICE is doing. ICE don't got no color. And ICE don't care if you black, white, Spanish. I mean, essentially, they don't care. They're going after everybody. So when there's an agenda going on and there's a large group of individuals that's running that agenda, there's no color. It's just an agenda. Agenda doesn't have color. Agenda just says, okay, we got shit to do. That's what agenda says. Agenda says we got shit to do and we need to hurry up and take care of it. That's what agenda does. Pardon me 1 second, y'all. Let me get this. I need to roll up. I'm out here chopping it up with y'all. Been choppy. Yo, hoy. Been chopping it up. You heard? So now, think about what do most of y'all do, right? So now, during the pandemic, if you weren't an essential worker, you couldn't work. So like shipping companies were good because they had to ship goods. They just had to show IDs and things like that of that nature. A lot of people lost jobs who are not citizens, who are migrants, who are non-documented because of the person in position right now. A lot of people lost out on these logistics and these shipping and these trucking and these towing and these jobs just all over. But I just want to ask you guys in the comment section real quick, what are some of you guys' careers? What careers do you guys have? What jobs do you guys work? If you don't mind just saying it in the comment section, I just want to, just curious. I just want to ask. Just want to see something. And for starters, we can start with me. Like I said before, prior, I am a welder by trade. I am a photographer and videographer by passion. I am a broadcast technician by passion, which is pretty much basically learning how to live stream one image signal to multiple different places at one time, which is what the news does. I've taught myself, self-taught logistics, shipping, trucking, hauling, RVs, campers, cars. Like, I'm pretty much taught myself a lot, but I'm just curious to know what you guys do. Because if another pandemic was to happen right now, and you're not an essential worker, you would have to stay home. You can't be out past a certain time. So what would you guys do? Because that's what it really boils down to. It boils down to what you do and how you're securing yourself. And if we were to go into a shutdown right now, no matter what you're doing, if it's not essential and if it's not considered essential to the country or to the state, you can't be outside. As a photographer, I have a badge from Reuters that says this photographer, this stringer, works for us. We are backed by Reuters, New York. Call this number, 212-XXX, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I have that. When if they were to shut down, right? Rendell Bright, 6019, salute to you. If the country was to shut down, right? If they were to shut down, right? Not only do I have the photography and the videography thing, I got that badge from Reuters, and Reuters backs ABC, NBC. They're the giant. Reuters is the giant. So I have that badge from Reuters, but then I also do shipping and logistics. Right? Here we go again. See, look at that. Shout out to you, William Lynch, 578. Home healthcare. Home healthcare is essential. Healthcare in general is essential because no matter what shuts down, the hospitals stay open, the police station stays open, the jails stay open. What do you need? Always need medical attention. People need to take their medicine. People need to be picked up from the doctor. People need to be dropped off at the doctor. People still need surgery. People still need dental work. People still need all type of things related to medical issues. And might I add, I'm also a home health aide. I've worked for amazing healthcare located in the Bronx, New York. That's the CDPAT program. The consumer. So CDPAP is. I'm in. Okay. Empire Morocco 1201. See, I like this, you guys. That's why I said I'm going to keep coming on here live, and we're going to get a little bit more consistent with the talking because it's all about sharing information. So, shout out to Empire v Morocco. All right, 1201. I'm in the real estate repairing cars. Okay. I studied criminal law. Rendell Bryce said, I appreciate the shout out. Thanks for the live feed. Yeah, shout out to you. Make sure you guys hit the like. Please hit this like. Don't be afraid to comment. I'm not gonna judge anybody. Trust me, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not here to judge nobody. I just know my worth and I know what I'm capable of. So, you know, don't be put off by me sounding so sure about things. It's just that I put myself out there and I take chances on myself. And every time I take a chance on myself, I always get the same results. You can do it. So, and that's why, you know, I try to speak that same positivity into other people because what else is there to do? I don't want to talk down to anybody. If it wasn't for somebody doing welding, if it wasn't for an old Italian white man teaching me welding, I wouldn't know how to weld. I wouldn't really care about welding. Well, he taught me, and I took that, and I wanted to learn it. I went to a school. I went and studied. I practiced. I got trained. So, you understand, like, you know, logistics. Shout out to the box truck bros on Instagram. Shout out to all the different trucking companies and everything like that, all on Instagram posting stuff. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be curious to want to go out there and book a load and say, yo, you know what? Let me go and try to do this truck thing, right? So, you know, but definitely, I studied criminal law and started winning felony court cases. I've studied consumer law, and now I'm about to handle those bills. And I say, oh yeah, shout out to you, Morocco. So now, I did study the consumer law. Anybody that wants to know how to remove certain items off their credit, you can absolutely hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm about to give y'all. That's my Instagram right there, Zyir6K. Anybody who want to hit me up, anybody who want information on his business, on his shipping and logistics, photography, videography, how to get right on YouTube and how to be able to broadcast to multiple channels, and more importantly, real estate too. So now let's talk about that, right? So as I was saying before, in Salem, there was a house in Salem going up for auction, right? The house was built in 1897. The house was a 4-floor duplex, and it was going up on the auction for $5,300, right? And salute to you, William Lynch. I appreciate you. I'm gonna definitely keep dropping this knowledge on y'all. So the house goes up for auction for $5,300. It's a 4-floor duplex, 2-sided, right? This house, historical, built in 1897, still got the old skeleton key locks in the door, the sliding wood doors. This was historical because this was a house that slave masters stayed in. The house adjacent to it, which is probably like 50 feet away, is for the slaves. This was much smaller. It only had 1 floor with a basement and like a very tiny attic. So I don't even really count that as a floor, but yeah, it was 1 floor. And that house went up for sale on the auction for $600,000. Oh, pardon me, $600. So $5,300 for the 4-floor duplex split-sided, and then $600 for the house adjacent to it, which the slaves stayed in. They're both historical properties built in the 1800s. We clean out all 4 floors, both sides of the first house, right? Clean it out. We call the insurance people. The insurance people come. Now, before we call them and we clean it out, once you finish cleaning out a house that is deemed uninhabitable, you clean it out, call the electrician, get the wires back on, get the power on, make sure that everything is good with the wires. Call the plumber. Plumber comes, they do a check, make sure they check everything, make sure you check for asbestos and everything like that. Boom. Once it's deemed as habitable, the power and the water's on and you can live in it, now you call the insurance people. The insurance people come, they do the appraisal. When they do the appraisal, right? So he bought the house. It was a four floor duplex, split, both sides, right? He buys the house for $5,300. After we clean it out within 7 to 10 days, and we call the insurance people to get it appraised, you wouldn't believe that this house appraised. The house appraised for $630,000, right? House appraised, he bought it for $5,300. It appraises to $600 and something thousand, right? The house that he paid $600 for, broken roof and everything, built in the 1800s. After we clean that out and go get it appraised, that appraises for $200 and some change. Mind you, he only paid $600 for it. When I tell you real estate is it, so right now they have 1,300 acres up for sale, right? Between Mississippi and Alabama. It's 1,100 acres in Mississippi and 200 acres in Alabama. They want $600,000 for it, right? 1,300 acres, right? So, if you were to do, right, $100 per acre, right? $100,000, right? Or $130,000, pardon me. If you were to buy that property for $600,000, 1,300 acres, and it's split between two states, like I said, Alabama and Mississippi. If you were to buy 1,300 acres for $600,000, you do understand that legally you can sell each acre for $1,000 if you wanted to, singly. You can go and say, yo, you know what? You can go and say, yeah, Rendell, the flip is real. You can go and say, yo, you know what? I'm going to take 500 of these acres. No, forget that. $600,000 for 1,300 acres. I'm going to take 600 of these acres and I'm going to sell them for 1,000 each. That's 600,000, right? Just 600. So now when a person is coming and you're offering it to them, it doesn't matter what you bought it for. You own it now. Fix it up, clean it up real quick, make sure everything is nice and trimmed and everything, right? Tell me I'm giving up 600,000 acres for $600,000. Who wouldn't buy that? It's $1,000 an acre. That's a steal, right? Now you still have 700 acres left. You could take 300 of those acres and tell a farmer, hey, here's 300 acres for you. You can grow whatever you're gonna grow. Grapes usually do anywhere between 5,000 to 12,000 pounds per acre, right? So that's June, July, August, September, a little bit of May, right? Now you can either source those grapes to a local farm. I mean, not a local farm, a local fruit stand, vegetable stand, supermarket, right? Go and see what their prices is. Table grapes. So table grapes you can get anywhere from 5,000 to 12,000 pounds per acre. So now, if they're saying that they're paying $1.20 per pound, right? It's not costing you nothing to grow it on these acres, and you're telling them, hey, yo, you know what? I'll give it to you for 75 cents a pound. And you're producing 5,000 to 12,000 pounds per acre. And you just take like 10 acres. 10 acres, right? You can even put it at $1 a pound. You could say $1 a pound. Give you $1 a pound. Give you as many grapes as you want, right? 5,000 to 12,000 pounds for table grapes. So at a minimum, each acre is doing 5,000. That's 5,000 per acre. You got 10 acres, that's $50,000. That's a 1/12 of what you paid for the 1,300 acres. You paid $600,000 for 1,300 acres. You could take just 10 acres. You could take just 10 acres. Put grapes on it, table grapes. Get the minimum amount, which is 5,000 pounds. Sell those 5,000 pounds for $1 a pound, 10 acres, 50,000 pounds. How many times you can produce that within a 5 to 6 month period? And just with $50,000, just $50,000 is 1/12 of what you paid for the acres, and you only use 10 acres to get to that 50,000. Do you see how numbers work? That's how real the numbers is. It's just that a lot of people don't have space. A lot of people who do have the space probably don't want to take on too much more work because they're going to have to allocate the work to other people. Mark Page 4018. Yeah, shout out to you, Mark. That's a fact. Anybody that's on here, please make sure y'all, if y'all just coming in, thank y'all for coming in. Hit the like button. If y'all don't be afraid to comment. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And there goes the Instagram right there where y'all can hit me up and ask me anything that y'all want to ask me. Shout out to Aki for putting that Instagram up there. Zaire 6K is the Instagram. Any questions y'all got about real estate? Y'all want to ask me anything about photography, videography, anything, hit me up, man. Hit me up. I take bookings too, man. I travel, I do all that. Like, word. Anything. So, but yeah, definitely. It's definitely, that's where I'm gonna be honest with you. When Kanye West said two things, right? First, he said slavery was a choice. I'm gonna explain that to y'all. And then Kanye West said America's for sale. So the America for sale part, what people missed is when Kanye West said America's for sale, what he was saying is that the property's so cheap right now that the niggas on the block could get together and go buy a house, but they don't even know the basic steps of it, right? So check this out, right? You have a buying power, right? Let's say your credit score right now, I'm about to roll up because y'all got me excited talking to y'all. Let's say your buying power, right? And that's your FICO score. Let's say your buying power is $500,000, right? Let's say you got $500,000 buying power based upon your FICO score. That FICO score might be like a 680, 700. That's usually like 400 to 550, 600,000 buying power, right? So you got a 600 credit score. Pardon me, a 680 credit score, right? Like $500,000 buying power, right? Now, you go and find that supply and demand is real. You got to find your way in between. That's a fact. You go take that buying power of $500,000. Make sure you guys hit the like button. You go take that buying power of $500,000, right? And you go speak to a realtor. As an American, every American has the opportunity to spend 1.5 their first time, right? Or 3.5%. That's your, as an American, you only got to put down 3.5, right? So now, when you go and you start to do the process for the house, right? You're looking for houses, say you find a house that's $300,000, right? You find a house for $300K. Now, your buying power is $500,000. The house is $300,000. That means that you still have $200,000 left in the loan for the buying power, right? Now, give me 1 second, right? You still got $200,000 left in the buying power because the house is $300,000 and your buying power for the loan is $500,000, right? Even though they say 3.5%, right? So now you say, damn, this is a $300,000 house. Okay, so 1% of 300,000 is 3, right? 3% would be 9. So 3.5% would be 10.5, right? You thinking, damn, this is a $300,000 house. I'm gonna have to put down 10,000. Wrong. If your buying power supersedes the value of the house is 300,000, but you have $500,000 in buying power, you do understand that you don't have to put down 3.5% on the house. You could have arbitration. Same thing in the court. You talk. You, the mortgage officer, loan officer, and your realtor and the lawyer. The seller has fees to pay. Nobody just sells a house for $300,000 and you just keep the $300,000. That's not how laws work. No. Make sure y'all hit that like button, tap the screen, like, send me hundreds, send me hearts. You know what I mean? Like, hit it, right? If you want, you could tell your realtor tell the seller, I'm only going to put 1% in. Remember, $300,000 house, your buying power is $500,000. You're only going to put in 1%. That's $3,000. And then tell the lawyer and your agent, I want them to put the other 2.5% on the seller. They can absolutely do that. They can absolutely do that. Now, you have times where they may say, oh, well, we got to get an inspection. We got to do that. Okay, that's even more of a reason why you want to put it on the seller. Because why didn't you already get an inspection if you're selling the house? Why didn't you get the septic tank changed already if you're selling the house? Why would you, and now check this out too, right? Affordable Housing Act, absolutely. 3.5%, right? But now this is just buying homes in general. This is just negotiations. First-time homeowners. You don't have to put down 3%. You don't got to put down 3.5. You don't have to. You can negotiate to do 1%. You can negotiate to do, you could do 2% if you want, but you don't have to put down the whole 3.5. You don't have to. And that's another thing too. A lot of people don't tell you. If you don't, even if you say, yo, check it, I don't even want to give them 1%. I don't even want to give them 1% cash. And you're still under your buying power. Like I said, you could have it 100% financed under your buying power, under your loan. You don't have to give them nothing. You don't have to give them nothing up front. Nothing. Nothing. Because they have something also where a lot of people don't know about, which is called sub 2. Subject to the terms and conditions that are in this contract and left on the loan agreement or the payment agreement. So sub 2 is where, for instance, let's say in sub 2, you see a building, right? You go on, let's say we go on Zillow or Redfin or something like that, right? We go on Zillow, go on Redfin. You find a building that is been on the listing for, let's say, a year, 300 days, 10 months, right? Been on there for 10 months, right? Now, usually every month that goes by that a realtor has something listed that's not being sold or rented out or leased or whatever the case it is, if it's not being rented out or purchased, they're pretty much wasting money on the property. So now this property's up there for a year now. What happens is, as a sub 2 contractor, you come in and you say, hey, I noticed that this property's been up here for a year now. What are you doing with it? Well, we really were just trying to hurry up and get it off because, it's just been sitting here. Okay, cool. You have any more properties like that? Or this is just one of them? Oh, no, usually they'll tell you, yeah, we have several more like this. Okay, cool. So, are you guys willing to sub 2 the property? If I'm willing to take over the loan payments? A lot of people don't know that you can literally swap. Shout out to D Bougerie. Rendell Bright, if you own your house, how do you tap in and get money without selling? Equity. You got to build equity. And how do you build equity? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button. Send me hundreds and hearts. I'll tell y'all one process on how y'all can build easy equity. And it ain't gonna, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars on a piece of property and only have to spend a few $100s. Send me them likes. Send me them likes. I'll break it down to y'all. It's easy because I did the work already. I did a lot of the work. I done did a lot of equity work. A lot of equity work with just one person that just kept buying and had different properties. So I was able to see it firsthand experience, and I remember everything. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Subscribe and comment. If y'all want to know equity, just type equity. If y'all want to know, type equity. If you want to know real estate, type real estate. If you want to know trucking, type logistics, type trucking. If you want to know YouTube, type videos, YouTube, whatever. That's why I gave y'all the Instagram, so that way y'all can hit me up after this and talk to me, because I know it's Sunday. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me come out here and chop it up with the people. I usually take my Sunday walk, go chill for a little bit. But I said, yeah, let me chop it up with the people and see what I can drop on them, man. Give them some game and let them know what's going on in the world. Because listen, news is distorted nowadays. A lot of the media is distorted. Information, this is the information era. So it's nothing to be able to come on here and give y'all information about something that can help y'all get better in life. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to share information. Oh, he said finish that sub 2 technique. He said give me that game, nigga. Yo, listen, man. If y'all want the consultation, man, just hit me up. Yo, listen. My consultation, no joke. You could either do a 20-day consultation, a $20 consultation for 1 day, or I'll give you 3 days for $50. That's how I do my consultations. And that means you get 3 days, an hour a day, 2 hours a day to sit there and talk to me, and I give you all the game. I send you all my notes, everything. I send you pictures, videos, so that you can see everything that I did, so you can see it physically. Because a lot of times you could tell somebody something, but if you don't walk them through the process, it'd be hard for them to start. Not everybody's self-starters. So, but yeah, if y'all listen, man, y'all want some game, man. Just hit me up. I'll give y'all a consultation. Consultation is cheap. You got niggas charging $200-$300 for a consultation. $20, I give you all the game. I'll give you all the game. Cause I already been here, 170 minutes. I'm almost 3 hours straight talking to y'all, dropping knowledge on y'all. I don't mind giving you the game. I don't mind. I do not mind. Okay, yeah. Okay, yo, listen, Rendell, hit me up, bro. You see the Instagram is right there, ZYIR 6K. Hit me up. Hit that like button, y'all, too. It's easy. It's easy. Yo, you know what's so crazy? Rendell, how much land you got? Because depending on how much land you got, that will be a determining factor. That would be a big determining factor on how fast you can build the equity. But I have several ways, though. I got several ways that you can do it, and I have addresses to places that you can go to get things for very cheap. I have the address, locations, phone numbers. Because I did this. Yo, my buddy that I helped, right? He got a 13-acre farm out in Fallston, Maryland, right? 13 acres, grapes, all type of stuff. I know how to do the grapes. Instead of getting one set of grapes on the vine, he knows how to do 2 sets of grapes on one vine. Like, he's amazing. We know how to speed up the fermentation process, so that way, and do it to the point where there's no bacteria on that top layer of the wine. Yeah. Listen, when it comes to that, man, I done built driveways that was 20 acres wrapped around a crib, a whole compound, like a small compound. Like, I so many things, man, I can tell you, but like I said, tap in with me. ZYIR 6K. Y'all see the spelling. Y'all see the spelling. It's pinned. ZYIR 6K. ZYIR_ the number 6, the letter K. Hit me up on Instagram. I'ma check all y'all messages. I'm not no celebrity. I'm not no, you know what I mean? I'm not out here chasing clout. I'm just dropping game, man. I'm just talking to people, man, because sometimes I be feeling lonely as hell with all of this information. And I know there's other people out there that got it, but a lot of the people out there with the information like me don't really want to talk to y'all. And they don't want to give it to y'all like this. They don't want to talk. They want to monetize it. I don't want to monetize it. But I know once I keep talking, I'll give everything away. And won't nobody say, hey, you know what, buddy? Thank you for giving me that information and saving me thousands of dollars. Here's $20 tip for you. That's the only reason why people do it. And I understand. I get it. Because it'll get to a point where you'd be like, damn, I'm giving away all this game. Like, when am I gonna No, because like I said, YouTube could just check your channel anytime. And then everything's gone. All of this that I gave y'all is gone. So then what do we do then? So, yeah. Sub 2, you take over the terms and negotiations of whatever it is on their payments. Let's say it's a brownstone. Say they got, matter of fact, no, brownstone's expensive. A lot of people, that's like out of a lot of people's brackets, because brownstones cost twice as much as on mortgage payments. On mortgage payments, you will be paying more. The mortgage payments on the average brownstone is twice of what the average person makes every month. I know you guys are like, why do you have to say it like that? But I love numbers so much. So it just makes me go crazy when I think of these things. Like a brownstone could be anywhere from $7,000-8,000 minimum all the way up to $10,000 or $12,000 a month on a mortgage. The average person makes $4,000 a month. So yeah, like I said, that's double what the average, like that's insane. Like that's crazy. Like it's crazy, but handed down from my grandparents. I wanted to fix it up. Now look at it. So I want to put in front, pulling back, solar panel. Oh, okay, cool. He doesn't know the specific acres. Okay, Rendell Bright. All right, yeah. Definitely. Okay, yeah. Tap in with me on the Instagram, and I'll give you a full breakdown. It's nothing. I'll give you a full breakdown. Word. I'll give you a full breakdown. So many different things you can do. So many different things you can do to add equity to it. There's so many different things that you can do to get a tax break from the property. There's a lot of things you can do. I'll give you guys some game on this. If you are within a certain feet distance of a cemetery, an official cemetery, you do not have to pay taxes on your house. Most people won't tell you that. Of course, Randall, no problem, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all coming here and supporting me. Hitting that like button, supporting me. I would tell y'all to donate, but for some reason, I'd rather just open up a C corporation and just let people buy shares of my company, because I don't know why. That's the best. Like, having a C corp is the best. They're the best beggars in the world, because all they gotta do is open a C corp, put on, perform, and then people be like, oh my God, look at Amazon, I'm investing. Look at Disney, I'm investing. Look at Walmart, I'm investing. Right? People just go buy. So I would tell y'all, hey, yo, donate to BattleThon Ent or on Cash App, or I would tell y'all, don't, hit me up on Instagram, don't. But it's like, if y'all want to shoot me 20 for a consultation, cool. I'll give y'all all the game y'all want. Y'all can come and ask me unlimited questions on Instagram. There goes the Instagram right there, ZYIR6K. Y'all can ask me unlimited questions. Unlimited. I'll answer them. And it's the thing, though, with me, right? Oh, shout out, Rendell. I was in Vegas. What was that? Planet. What's the name of that spot, man? 24-hour dispensary, man. Planet something, man. Weed spot, man. I said, damn, I never seen a 24-hour dispensary. First time, you know, I'm from New York. Never seen a 24-hour dispensary. You know, New York, if you could make it there, you could make it anywhere. They up all night, even though we're not the city that never sleeps. They up all night. I never seen a 24-hour dispensary. But New York, we have one that stays open till, I think, like 3 in the morning. And then they open right back up at like 8. Yeah, William Lynch. Basically, you're taking over, like almost like Swap-A-Lease, like how you can literally go on swapalease.com and take over somebody's lease payments on a car. They just do the credit check or whatever and everything like that. Now, with Sub 2, the reason why Sub 2 is dope is because, especially if you already have an LLC in a business and you have all your paperwork and everything set up, it's a lot easier to just sit there and scout online. You see how I just said, like what I would do is, like, when it was time for me to book my shipping loads, let me go back to the shipping thing, right? Let's see something. So, right, when it was time for me to do bookings, when it's time for me to do bookings and things like that, right, I would look and see what the distance is, and I would say, okay, cool. This is about, I would say, damn, okay, this is like, okay, this is 1,500 miles. I get 500 a tank, so $300. All right, 300 there, 300 back, that's 600, right? And then create the trail. Boom, 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 stack it up, and they would get to a certain point, and I'd be like, damn, that's a lot of money. I'd be like, all right, I gotta hurry up and hit the road. But it's a level of comfort after you do it. After a certain amount of months, it's just like, oh, okay. It's nothing to you. Booking is like, whatever. Right? So now, where you have sub 2, it would pretty much be just like that. You'd be hitting the road, but you're not picking up people's stuff. You're buying houses and taking over payments. So, and use that. You can use that in a good way. A lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to use debt. You can use the negative debt, turn it into positive. So, you get the properties, you know, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I see that this property been up here for the last 12 months. I see that you guys are selling. I see that it's going up for $150,000. Is there any problems with the property? Go in, you check it. Oh, no, it's zoning, the codes, everything is good. Everything's up to par. Okay, cool. Just having a hard time selling it. You'll probably find something, you know what I mean, wrong with it, because a lot of times things stay up that long and people can't get it off. And then sometimes things stay up that long and it's just that people just can't get it off, and there really is nothing wrong with it. But it's a good portion of times where there's things wrong with the property. And it could be something really small, but yeah, I'll take over this. Okay, cool. The payments, it's $150,000. The payments are $1,000 a month. And we have X amount of time left on these payments. So in your head, you're like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. Now you can go in and say, can I take over the property subject to the terms and agreements that you already have in place, which is their $1,000 a month payment. Now, if they're willing, if they just want to get the property off and just say, yo, here, just take it, just take the property, get it out of here. Yeah, LLC case is right included on your Instagram, fam? You said is right? No. Right is not on my Instagram. Aki, sorry about that. Aki put right up, basically like, yo, is that the right one? But yeah, it's just Zyir 6K, ZYIR _6K. That's it. So yeah, they could just give it to you because they're tired of holding on to the property, and they're like, yo, we don't want it. Like we've had it too long. We want to get rid of it. Or what they could do is they could say, you know what? Yeah, we'll give you we'll sub to the property to you, but sub to $5,000 or $10,000 deposit. Sign the papers and then we'll sign it over to you. You just take over the payments. Sometimes people do that. Sometimes you might want to walk in, see what they're gonna say, and if they don't offer something, you walk away. You could just sign the property. You don't gotta, if they don't say, yo, we need a $5,000 deposit. Now, there are situations where you walk into where you might see something and be like, damn, this is really nice. And all you guys want is $350? Now, yeah, you might be like, come on, Zai. $350,000 is a lot of money. No, man, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. I just told you I was able to make $9,000 in 1 week, in 6 days. And that's a small amount. Imagine if I was to stay on the road for 30 days. If I made $9,000 in 6 days, I could probably do, that's about 9,000 6 days is about 6 times 1.5. So I was doing about averaging 1,500 a day. So if I'm averaging 1,500 a day for 30 days, $45,000 a month times 12 months. I'm looking at 10 months is $450, so 12 months would be $540. I could do $500,000 in 1 year. That's insane. It's all about consistency and patterns. And that's just small stuff I'm moving. I'm not even telling you guys about the larger items that you can move, the heavy equipment in the boats where you can charge $15,000 for just one boat. I'm gonna tell you guys something real quick. Now that we're here, I'm back on the U-ship thing, right? Met an older guy on the road, old white dude with the beard. I forgot who he reminds me of, man, with that damn beard, man. This character, but real cool, man. Real cool dude, man. I'm at the gas station. This is a few years ago. I had a Tundra, big Tundra. And I'm in Delaware. Just came from Elizabeth, New Jersey, picking up a trailer. I got to drop the trailer off in Kelsey, Texas, right? I think I charged the client like $3,300 or $3,200, something light. Because for me, it's like a road trip. I'm like, whatever. It's only like where we was going in Texas was like, I think it was like 1,600 miles or something like that, or 1,400 miles. So I didn't care. It was like a 20-hour ride, whatever, 17, 20-hour ride. It was a road trip to me. So I'm like, all right, bet. Let me stop, get some gas. I stopped, get some gas, sitting there chilling. I see the dude's truck. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I like that Jeep, man. That's fire. He said, I like that. What's that, a Tundra? I said, yeah, those are nice, man. He said, what's that, the SR5? I said, yeah. He said, okay, you got the big package. I said, yeah, well, I wouldn't get the town and country, but they want like 90. They were like 90, 100 for that. And the SR5 2022 was 70,000 MSRP. Which is another trick I can teach you guys about, because I didn't put down. No, I put down $1,000. My credit score was a 630 at the time, 640. I put down $1,000 and walked out with a 2022 Toyota Tundra SR5 with a $70,000 sticker on it. Trust me, you do not have to put down all that money. You're not even supposed to put money down. It's supposed to be against the law, according to consumer law, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, when you're doing the sub 2, sometimes you might want to give them a good amount of money. You might see something and you might be like, damn, this is only $350,000. You know what? I'll give you guys $10,000 down and I'll take over the monthly payments. So now when you're doing things like that, now it changes the spectrum. Now the person is more even. Now they're really they're hurrying up. Now they rushing. Oh, come on, let's hurry up and sign this. Let's hurry up and go sign this. Let's get this off. They hurry up and they hurry up and yeah, let's get rid of this real quick. They sign it off to you. Now you got your property. Hopefully it's commercial. It could be a building, 4 floors, 3 apartments on each floor, 4 apartments on each floor, 16 apartments. Let's say the standard rate in that area for those apartments are anywhere from $1,700 or $1,500 to $2,000 an apartment. Now, your payments on this mortgage might be left over for the next 5 years. You don't have to pay $1,000 a month. You might only have to pay $3,000 a month, right? But you got 4 apartments, 4 floors, 16 apartments. The average rate is $1,500 to $2,000. If you want it, you could do a bonus. New ownership, apartments open starting at $1,200. Vouchers welcome. You know why? Because when you have vouchers coming from the state, you get your money automatically. They send that check the beginning of the month. You get your money automatically. So now you got 16 apartments going for $1,200 a month. Let's just say $1,000 a month. That's $16,000. If the payments on that building every month for the next 5 years is $3,000 a month, you literally just found a way to speed up the process to hurry up, pay the $3,000, put 30% aside of that 16, which is 48. About $5,000, and then you take the other $8,000 and you put that in a whole nother account. You take the $3,000, pay off the mortgage for the building. You take $4,800, which is 30%, and you put that aside, right? That's just a rule of thumb I have for business. Put 25, 30% aside, right? And then what's left over is the other $8,000. You take that 8 and you just put it in an account. Just put it somewhere. Take 4, put it in cash in the safe somewhere. Take the other 4, put it in the bank. Whatever you want to do, but break it up and always have that sand money ready, because they run down on you for anything. If you don't got a strong accountant, or you don't know your work, your lingo, and how this paperwork is run, and consumer law, they're gonna get you. They definitely gonna get you. But yes, sub 2 is very good. Man, they got units. Look for commercial. Commercial is always good. You understand? One thing I can honestly say, right? You see some of these people, they walk in groups, they buy up the communities, right? And when you see them in groups and you notice, damn, there's 4, 5, 6 of them, they're all going into the bank. Why are they all going to the bank? Why are they all going to that real estate office? You know why? Because each one of them has buying power. They're all going to go and sign on that lease agreement to purchase this building. They're all going to go sign that lease agreement to purchase this entire family unit with over 40 units in it. And now you say to yourself, damn, why do these people keep buying up all these communities? How are they doing this? They're working together. They're working together. That's all they're doing. William Lynn said, yeah, LLC, because it can be a DBA for my C Corp, increase my asset in the company. Right. Doing business as. So your DBA would be the straw. Your DBA would be the straw. So you a totally different person. Your DBA would be the straw. You could do, your DBA could be Arrington. Your DBA could be Stone Barrington. It could be Sidney Sheldon. It could be James Patterson, Stuart Woods. It could be anything you want it to be. Your DBA could be whatever you want it to be, but your DBA could be the straw for the C Corp. That's something that we could talk about. We could definitely talk about that. A lot of people also, y'all want to do corporations, understand, if you're doing the corporations with the intent of selling shares, if you do an S Corp, you can only do up to 1,000 shares. Don't do an S Corp if you want to be big. If the plan is to be big and be global, and you want the world to see you, and you want to be big, and you want to make sure that you're getting as much funding as possible, and they're not limiting you at the bank, do not do an S corporation. An S corporation only allows you to do 1,000 shares. A C corporation will allow you to be like Apple, where you can get people to invest and buy shares in your company Monday through Friday, between the hours of 9 and 4 p.m. Okay? And I say Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 and 4 is because that's when the market is open. But you can go in on any platform, purchase the shares, pre-purchase the shares. If it's on a day like today on a Sunday, they'll say, okay, thank you for this. Your shares will pop up tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, 9:30, as soon as the bell. Okay, no problem. Now you have unlimited shares. An S Corp is for investors, but so is a C Corp. Because with a C Corp, you could do the same thing. This is why Barack Obama said, you can raise unlimited funding with a business. Remember the movie Boiler Room? Boiler Room showed you the process of how you can take that piece of paper, that certificate, that bond. You take that one piece of paper and you bring that piece of paper to a bonding agent. That bonding agent can raise up to $20 million on one sheet of paper. 20 million. Do you understand? So it's totally different when you have a C corporation. That's why we miss a lot of the things that some of these people say on TV, because we worship them, and a lot of people. Okay, pardon me, y'all. Pardon me. That was the village checking in on me. They were checking in on me to make sure that I'm okay. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The C Corp is the big bag. The C Corp is where you have unlimited shares. For instance, you open up a C Corp. When you open up a C Corp, You could open up a C Corp, right? And you open up that C Corp and be like, okay, I'm opening this up, shares starting at 1 penny. I'm gonna do 1 million shares for a penny a share, right? I'm gonna do 1 million shares for a penny a share. You launch that C Corp right away. Million shares, a penny a share. Now with the C Corporation, what you would do is you are the head, put husband, wife, a board member, make your mother, your father, board member, make one of your eldest kids board members. If you have any kids under the age of 18, they can't do anything on the board, but they can be part of the board. They can't make any decisions. They have to have a lawyer or an advisor act on their behalf, and that can be set in place as well. Most C Corps, it's better to start with 3 people. One person, like an LLC is different. You can start with 1, but C Corp, you want to have 3 people. You want to show because you want to have a balance, right? You want to have a balance. Also, like I said, it's unlimited. One piece of paper, you can raise $20 million, okay? Now, and shout out to Derek Whitehead, you know what I mean? Because the information that he gives away, impeccable. They're afraid of him. The banks are afraid of Mr. Whitehead, right? So check this out, right? Go check out the movie Boiler Room. Good movie. Boiler Room, Wolf of Wall Street, stuff like that. Go check that stuff out. And this is why the United States of America is incorporated where? In Delaware, right? Because in Delaware, there's no corporate tax, no business tax. No business tax, right? You get everything back. As long as you swiping with that card, swipe, you get everything back. Supplies, everything. Bought a new truck, you get that money back. Monthly payments on the truck, that's for the business, let me get that back. So essentially, you are at a point in life where you're doing business, and if you're writing off your car payments and you're writing off your insurance payments, essentially, you never paid for the truck. You never paid for the car. Who's paying for it? Oh, man. When you have this type of information, they could lock you in a hole for 5, 10, 15 years, and it wouldn't even faze you. You know why? Because the minute that you got out, the minute you get out, you know your takeover is bigger than anything. You know your takeover is bigger than anything. When you have that much information, nothing. What bothers you? What are you worried about? I laugh. I have fun. It's amazing, man. But yeah, y'all, listen, let me get up out of here. Like I said, anything you guys want to learn about logistics, you guys want to ask questions, I know you guys are interested. You see the numbers up there. See the numbers, $2,500 on November 4th. Skip down, November 1st, $1,600. October 30th, $3,700. The 28th, $14. Come all the way down here, $1,380. So I know you guys are seeing these numbers, and you're probably like, yo, what's up? How did you get that? There goes the Instagram right there, ZYIR_6K. That's it. ZYIR_6K on Instagram. Hit me up. Ask me any questions. Like I said, consultations is $20. If you tell me If you come to do a consultation, you say, yo, Zaire, I only got $10. I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna take you. I know how it is. Everybody don't got it, you know. But it's all right though, because based upon my questioning, I don't know if you got it. I don't know if you got it or not. But either way, that's the whole point of it. When you're in control of something, you monetize. You put a number on it. That's supply and demand. You know, I have a supply of information, and it's in demand. I'm willing to give it away. You know, I don't want to say, hey, I'm gonna charge you $50 or $100 for a 1-day consultation. Oh, that's insane. I just told you the average person only makes $150 to $200 a day, and some people don't even make that. Some parts of the country, people aren't even making $100 a day. So it's like, why would I do that to anyone? It's insane. Why would I do that? But yeah, man. Anything you guys want to ask me? Logistics. You know, you can make as low as logistics. You can do as low as $1,000 to $3,000 a day, all the way up to $10,000 to $20,000 in one day, depending on what you're moving. If you guys want to know about real estate, building equity, hit me up. If you guys want to know about photography, videography, hit me up. What else, man? I got a lot, man. Just hit me up, y'all. Y'all be safe. I got to make it back in. I got to go back. I've been out here rocking out with y'all. Damn, say 200 minutes. Woo. Whoa, 200 minutes. I could talk, man. I could talk for hours, man. I got to go check this out after this ends so I can see. I got to First entity design to get money. That's where our birth money is at. Hey, William Lynch, you know. That's a fact, William. You know. You got some information. That's a fact. We will definitely chop it up. Hit me up on the gram. Listen, love, life, and loyalty is the motto. Stay safe, stay real, and stay true. You rock with me, I rock with you. 1.